All right. Looks like we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hold on, I need to get the. There we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Films and Fandoms with Kaylee. I finally got the background fixed.
Yep, looking good.
Thank you. So today, I am going to be joined by Alex once again.
Hi.
And Cameron, my partner Cameron, has decided to join.
Yeah,
This.
I pulled down and watched all of Almost Paradise.
I was gonna say, did you end up watching the whole series? Because I know you got up to the episode we're talking about today, but did you actually watch the full series?
No, I will be watching the next episode after we do this.
So,
yeah,
so you only have seen up to episode 6?
Yeah.
Okay, I only asked because I don't know how many of my notes deal with spoilers, so
I mean,
so I can
I
can modify, so I can just watch what I say now that I know you're up to episode 6.
Yeah.
All right, so.
And because of what happens in this episode, depending on how the conversation goes, I might end up leaving early, depending on how I feel.
Yes. This actually
home for me. So
yes, actually going into that. Let's get into the episode we're going to be talking about today. So we are going to be talking about season 1, episode 6 of Almost Paradise, Rise of the Kalangay. And the summary for this episode is: when a famous detective comes to Cebu and tries to solve a murder, Alex takes it as a personal challenge to solve the case first. Things get complicated and dangerous when the case reveals some uncomfortable truths about Kai's past. The director for this episode is Hannah Espia-Farbova. I think that's how you say their name. And the writers for this episode are Sean Presant and Eddie Quintana. So, before we actually get into this episode, as Cameron kind of mentioned a bit, I do have to issue a trigger warning, which, as you can see in the sort of ticker at the bottom of the screen there, or if you're listening to sorry, Jesus Christ. Excuse me a moment. Christ.
the universe doesn't want us talking about it. We're good.
But I do have to issue a trigger warning for mentions of suicide in this episode. Now, I'm gonna try my best to not, because the episode isn't really graphic. Like, it basically just says, but it still needs to be mentioned.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go into like gory detail or anything.
Right.
Basically, it's just this character unalived themselves. Basically, is as far as it goes.
Yeah.
In case, that's important to note.
Yeah. Before I watched the episode, Kaylee actually gave me a warning and was like, "This is mentioned. You just be careful." And I'm like, "I'll be fine." Yeah, I wasn't fine. I wasn't okay. So,
it even disturbed me watching it again. I had to literally turn away.
It's more
briefly for a second.
It's not necessarily that it depicts. It's more the implication that, like, when everything's revealed at the end, it's more the implication
and the emotion
is what's disturbing. Yes, the emotion behind it.
And that if you're dealing with something similar to this, you realize just how much it can hurt.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah. Alex, what's that face for?
Sure, I just mental health. Great.
Okay. No, I'm laughing because of a completely different thing. Because topic of that kind of is dark, but I just got a notification for Facebook, and the screen cap I sent you, Kaylee, of the 20 pounds crazy and a 5-pound bag thing from my boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
A mutual friend of ours did the peanut gif. Yep, going over the head.
Well, ain't that a good way to lighten up a podcast?
Hey,
I
you know
know.
what? Sometimes when dealing with dark subjects, you gotta add a bit of humor into it. I mean, that's why dark humor exists.
Okay, and it even got better. I have to read this out loud.
No,
A friend of
God.
mine. Yeah, it's hilarious. He's like, no, what I meant was be careful. You're going to get some rocks with that one from time to time just because how well I know you and I feel I may know Alex. Because basically my boyfriend said that he's like, what? I could have a short, feisty girl who's feisty, worth caring for, teasing, and 20 pounds of crazy in a 5-pound bag, and then he tagged me. Or I could have a tall girl who's boring, and I was like, hey!
Hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
he's also a leverage fan too.
Yeah, it's a leverage joke. If you're a Caniac, you probably know what we're talking about because you've probably seen leverage.
Yep.
Let's face it,
Yeah,
Caniacs know more than they should.
Probably. Look, Caniacs are a whole different breed of
Oh,
fans.
shit.
True.
I mean it. Like, I went from the Supernatural fandom, which is just basically a shit show every fucking week, which I'm not even gonna get into what.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's a whole other bowl soup.
Yeah, if you want to hear more about Supernatural, you can listen to Driver Picks the podcast, which is on Spotify, and I believe Podbean and some other sites. It's on Tumblr. You can look it up, but they do Supernatural. I will leave them to do the Supernatural. So we should actually get into this episode now that we got the intro out of the way with the trigger warning. Again, just in case there is a trigger warning for this episode. So before we start, I'd like to thank our parent company, napco.org, our electrical consultants, westpasystems.com, and finally, so I created a coffee page. It's at Films and Fandoms. You can look it up on Ko-Fi, and basically, you can buy me a coffee, and every purchase of a coffee goes directly to the podcast. And I do have a goal to help cover some recent expenses that have come up. So anything extra from that goal does go directly to me as a creator. So yeah, if you want to buy a girl a coffee. I'm sorry, I'm getting dirty looks.
All right.
Hey,
Yeah, babe.
moving
What?
on.
Yeah, thank you.
You
So-
you knew this was gonna happen.
I knew. Yeah, I should have known better. All right. And by the way, this is not alcohol.
Yet,
It's a pina colada,
without the alcohol.
but it's all mixer. Because I'm a dumbass. And
I put up with this on a daily basis, so.
Oh, you love it.
Do I though?
Yes, you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't tolerate us. You would control alt delete us from your life.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Nope, you stuck with me, babe.
I just
Sorry.
realized what I just said. I said something geeky. Like, person.
All right.
I didn't even mean to.
I know. Okay, let's get on with this episode.
And then
We're 10 minutes in already. I haven't even started the episode.
oh shit.
So first off, female director. Awesome. We love a female director in this household.
You're the only one in the household.
Shut up.
True.
Figure. Carrying on. So we do begin with kind of a heavy note as we see teenage Kai at her mother's funeral 15 years prior. Though I gotta give props to this actress that's playing a young Kai, AC Bonifacio. I think that's how you say their name. She killed it as a young Kai.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
But she gets handed a ring, and it's revealed that it was in her hand when she died, which is important to take note of. Yeah. Now, the ring was in Kai's mother's hand when she died, and she was murdered. That's another note. That's important. And through her talking with the various community leaders, we get the impression that Kai was sort of this legacy, and she was sort of expected to take the place of her mother when she passed and be the community spiritual leader. So, yeah, that's interesting because we learn more about Kai in this episode, which I really love because I love Kai.
Me too. She's honestly who I want to be like when I grow up.
Yeah. Well, Kai's awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she kind of does.
I mean,
She kind
Candy
of does
Girl's awesome in herself by herself, but she brings that rawness to Kai that was really necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I did just say Sammy.
Yeah. Though I must say the de-aging of like the actor who plays Rabara was a bit.
I was a little uneasy.
Look, it wasn't
It was-
Party City old Sam, Party City wig. was that wig that they had freaking Jared Padalecki in for that episode was horrible.
Yeah,
I knew
we brought
exactly
the comedic relief we needed.
I knew exactly
No.
what you were
When I
talking
tell
about.
you,
Look,
I went
yeah.
from sobbing my eyes out to laughing my ass off in a
Because
better.
it was after we got the old Sam wig that we got that Naomi cover. Naomi cover of Carry On Wayward Son, which as soon as I the original Kansas version stopped, I heard the Naomi version. I was like, no fucking way.
And that was like a to me.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Because I literally stopped breathing.
The Kansas one doesn't make me sad or anything, but that version made
And
me
I was on
sob.
I was on
had to
FaceTime with my
pause.
cousin. I was on
had to pause
FaceTime
it.
watching it live. I watched it live with my cousin on FaceTime. And we were both sobbing our eyes out
I went through like
the whole
4
damn
tissues.
time.
I went
And
through
then
4
I like
tissues.
did not sleep. Like I just cried all fucking night until midnight. and then I had to get up at 5:45 to go to fucking school the next day.
Shouldn't we be doing a podcast about a very specific episode about a very specific show?
No. Moving on. Point was the de-aging they use is kind of but Rabaro goes up to Kai and promises that he's gonna find her mother's killer, and it's also a chance for her to start over.
I don't know what it
Which
is.
flashback? Apparently, Hannah, the director for this episode, in the Facebook Live, said that she watched Leverage to do the flashbacks. To like see how like Dean had done the flashbacks
I
before.
remember that. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because
So,
Leverage is the best.
Look
at the
in Christian's
flashbacks.
eyes when she said that was one of like,
Mhm.
really? What?
Because
And also
I
one
was
of
say because
pride.
this was after they had done like this Facebook Live was after the official announcement that they were bringing Leverage back.
Yep.
So, yeah. Oh, actually, for like a minute, they are in Cebu filming season 2 of Almost Paradise, but that means we lost the Kane main.
I know. As soon as I saw him in that little video clip that they posted, I was crying. I was like, no, not his long hair.
Right? I was. Huh.
No, because
I
it's
was
like
sad.
it was
I was
on the Labor
depressed.
Day marathon when the camera pans back and I saw he had the short hair. I was like,
No.
oh no! I thought he was gonna do this whole pose. I legit, I was like waiting to get the notification on my phone that Christian Kane posted a picture. There was gonna be like
Before
either
and
like a before or after, or like some like video montage where it was like him getting the haircut in like increasingly ridiculous styles until they like
But
got
yeah.
it to the proper length and it was like Alex Walker.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, now it's short and fluffy.
it is short and fluffy.
It's so
I mean,
floofy.
at least it's longer than my hair.
Yeah.
My hair, you can't.
I could
do
still run my fingers through your hair.
Feeling.
Damn it, babe. Come on, baby. We're doing that.
This happened like freaking earlier today. I posted it.
Don't.
All right. Moving on.
All
So
I gotta
we-
say is poor Alex. Have to deal with us
Look, we may have gotten a bit flirty, okay? That's all you need to know.
in the group chat.
In the group chat. Which,
Alex
the
just gagged.
PSA. Keep that private.
Okay,
Obviously-
so since we
Moving on.
Kaylee.
Relationship advice with Cameron: do not flirt around your friend.
So, when you mentioned the loss of the Kane man, that made me sad again. So, I looked up the photo of him with his long hair. Right before you got
Okay,
cut.
that photo is.
It's adorable!
It is.
I
was like,
can't
I
wait
wanna
to
braid
get
it.
the
I wanna
first
braid his hair.
trailer of season 2. Dean Devlin. When are we getting the Redemption season 2 trailer?
Because I know you're
I'm probably
watching.
gonna wake up
When
one
are we gonna
freaking
get it,
morning.
man? Come on!
I'm probably gonna wake up one freaking morning before I gotta go to work, and I'm gonna get the same freaking notification that Dean Devlin tweeted saying to
Watch him tag
keep
us.
an eye out for something later.
But when
And I'm
he
gonna be
posts,
freaking
I'm gonna
out.
cry.
Babe, when he posts the trailer, watch him tag us in it because we keep bugging him about it.
Oh my fucking god. Dean Devlin, do not do that. I
Don't
will
do
be
that.
broken.
No!
Do
You
it.
broke me
No.
too bad when you
Uh-uh.
tweeted about the fucking podcast. Don't tag
No.
us in the
Do it.
fucking
Yeah,
trailer.
I'm still freaking broken. The fact that he saw it and he's watched their podcast. I was like, no.
Okay, but
My brother's all
why
up in
does
the
it bother you guys so much? He knows we exist.
True. That makes me
because he
happy,
knows
but
we exist.
yeah, But at the same time, I'm also terrified because if he's seen it, he probably showed it to Christian, and Christian probably laughed at it.
There
That's the part that terrifies me.
Seriously. Okay.
I mean, if you can't tell, I'm a huge Christian Kane fan, and I'm like, damn it, Alex.
You're flustered. You're flustered, bud. I'm
Damn it.
sorry, but you're flustered. I don't give a crap. I don't care. Not
I'll
like
do
you
the
can
thing,
fight
I
me.
swear to God. I'll do the thing. I'll do it. I swear.
Oh, hell no. Nope. No.
You see what I gotta put up with?
Sorry, baby.
Sorry.
You're fine, babe.
Cam started it.
You're right, I did, and I'm gonna fucking finish it too.
Okay, let's actually get on to the freaking episode. Jesus.
No.
Sorry.
Fine.
So we get a nice transition from teenage Kai to adult Kai. And it's like, it's emotional. You know, she's looking at her mother's ring. That's on it, like a necklace chain, a long necklace chain.
Isn't that when she
And
said
there's sad acoustic, like there's sad acoustic guitar music, which shout out to Fred Curry.
It was cute.
Sound design
but
for
it
this
also-
episode, A+.
It literally, it was like Fred reached into my heart and just crushed it right there in that moment.
This is undercut with the honking of a car horn. Because Alex
Oklahoma.
Walker
Alex.
is in the back seat, or no, is leaning from the back seat, honking on the horn, like, come on, like, I gotta get to my appointment. I need my check.
even if he had his check, he couldn't pay his bills.
He still couldn't pay his bills.
Okay, I have a note about that. I said that he's acting like a toddler.
He is. He's
No.
like,
No, because a toddler wouldn't be able to reach the horn.
and he's acting like a
No, like the
child, where
impatientness.
it's like when you go, like when you're visiting like an aunt or something, or like you need to drop something off at like an aunt's house or something, and your mom is the one driving you, and she's like, oh, like, I'm just gonna be like 5 minutes. I just need to drop this off, then we're gonna get going.
An hour
15
later.
minutes later. What is going on?
Okay, no, because that reminds
And
me when I was a kid. So my family has this big thing of where we say goodbye in the kitchen, then we say goodbye as we're walking in the door, then we say goodbye at the door, then we say goodbye outside, then we say goodbye at the car. And
is that a Midwest thing?
Yeah. And
Yes.
half the time,
Okay,
my dad
I'm northern.
My
so.
dad would walk back to the house with my grandma, and they would talk some more, and then say goodbye again. And I'd be sitting in the front seat going, Dad, let's go. Dad, Dad,
Yeah.
Dad, let's go. And I would be bored.
Mm.
He would look back at me and give me a dirty look, like, stop, shut up, don't do that kind of thing. And I do it again with him staring.
Yeah, continuing on. So basically, we also get more about Kai's past, because as she's talking to Ernesto, she said, she's just saying how she used to like, drink and she stole and ran with gangs, and her mother was the spiritual leader of the community and believed in the old ways and kept the traditions alive and helped people basically.
Right.
And these were basically like the drinking, the stealing, and the running with gangs were basically cries for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so this is interesting idea is that Ernesto asked like if she ever considered following in her mother's footsteps. And Kai says she believes in a gun and a badge, and the rest got buried with her.
Which makes sense.
Because what I'm thinking, at least my interpretation, is what Kai believes is the best way to actually make real change is to be in a position of power.
Yes.
And
Yeah, agreed.
to her, in her environment, in her like her in her environment, the best way to do that was by becoming a police officer. So I found that an interesting sort of analytical moment with Kai, and how in a way that's sort of paralleled with Alex, how he believes like in the mission and helping people no matter what. And doing the right thing. So there's that interesting parallel which I'll bring that parallel back up again later. But this is sort
Yeah,
of
the way that I thought of it when you brought that up just now is like they have a parallel of what morality is. Because they were both technically
there's
cops.
an interesting morality
Um,
question. Kind of. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like there's that fundamental commonality between the two of them. They have their own way of understanding morality and working with it or against it in this case.
And that line of thinking that Kai went with is not too dissimilar to what Alex's line of thinking was, I think, becoming a DEA agent.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Not saying you have to actually be in like a position of power to change, but usually the best way to change a system is to be a part of the system.
yeah. I mean, us as individuals can change all the live long day, but if we want the change to stick,
But the
there needs
changes to
some
stick,
masses
yeah.
to change with us, or we need to be in a position to change it.
You need to either almost be a part of the system or hold enough power to inflict outside influence on the system.
Yeah. And it sucks that we have to do that.
Yeah, it does. All right, continuing on here. So, it cuts to Alex like honking the horn. No,
Toddler
he's
moment.
impatient. he's fucking pouting.
I know, and it's adorable.
He's like, "Come on, I gotta get my check." So then he goes back as like, but what's funny is like he's stressing out.
And there's that call.
But the thing is, he probably has like plenty of time.
He probably does. Let's face it.
Yeah.
But boy's so, I want to
Freaking
say
impatient.
high strung.
True.
But that would be a compliment. We're like trying to insult him.
Yeah.
It's funny. Kai looks at Ernesto,
Like,
and
I
he's
want to
like,
kill him.
he's like, if he honks that one more goddamn time, I'm gonna bury him too.
My favorite part of that whole thing is as soon as the police scanner goes off,
Alex is like, oh
he
shit,
off.
like no shit, and it's like trying to turn it down.
And then they come back in the car.
And
Kai puts the light up on the thing.
And Kai's like, all right, like we'll get you to your appointment after we go to like this call.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
How did you know?
I didn't know.
He literally, he went from like
he's
this,
pouting.
He's like,
He is full blown
arms
toddler
crossed.
pouting
I
in
know.
the goddamn back seat.
But here's the thing.
He
There's the
is
part that you
48
missed.
fucking years old.
I know.
You should not be
here's the thing that
pouting like a goddamn toddler, Alex Walker.
True. There's a part that you missed. Ernesto's like, he's gonna keep doing that until we go see what he wants.
Well then. But what's funny is after Kai says, like, if he honks that one more time, I'm gonna bury him too. And Ness is just like, let's go. And to be
Honestly,
fair, I feel like Ernesto, given what he does like later in the episode, he would be the type that it's like that the audio from the movie The Town, where he walks in and is like, okay, I need your help with something. You can ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people. And it's Jeremy Renner's character going, who's Kava gonna take? That's Ernesto.
True.
He's gonna be the one driving the getaway car and burying the body.
that's gonna be the three of us.
It would be the three of us.
I'd be the getaway driver.
You would.
Yeah,
neither one of us could
because
drive.
neither one of us can drive.
I mean, I could, but then we'd be drawing attention to ourselves, and that's not what we want.
I had a panic attack last time I drove, so.
Oh, I blacked out.
No, but Alex's excuse for like why he's like wanting to hurry is he gets nightmares about the people he's arrested crawling out of their graves and trying to eat his arms.
Okay, but why his arms?
That's
why?
odd. That's oddly
He could have
specific.
just said.
Which I don't know if he's just bullshitting
Well,
to
the
like.
look in his eyes says otherwise, but it was like in my mind, I'm thinking the same
that
thing as
little
him.
bit
Like,
of
why the arms?
Right?
Well, here's my theory on that. It's really
Okay.
like you know with handcuffs because he's arresting people. What's restrained? Your
you
arms.
Yeah,
Your arms are restrained.
and like he even as a DEA agent, he wouldn't be able to do his job without his arms. So like,
True. There's also
God.
that.
Damn it.
what? Man?
What? What?
What?
You know what scene just popped in my head? As soon
Okay.
as he said fucking handcuffs, you know
No.
what scene popped in my
No.
goddamn head.
No,
I'm moving on for all of our sakes.
thank God. Nobody
You're
asked.
And also the
welcome.
one- Nobody needs to know
I mean,
that image. Nobody
mean-
needs to know that. Moving on.
My girlfriend and I already know, so we're just gonna.
Hey! No. Moving on.
We'll talk about it later.
No, you're not. Moving on. So
Aw,
then
she's
the mother goes up
flustered.
to. Shut up.
I know it's adorable.
I know.
Oh my god, I hate you.
You love us.
So then,
Moving on, and Alex's heart monitor goes off too. Just like how mine probably would be if I had an alarm. So they show up to the crime scene, which is like this resort. And Kai's doing a little bit of job venting. Like we all do. We've all done it at some point.
Maybe.
Hey, like my motto is you gotta have at least one person. It doesn't matter if it's a friend or whoever. It can even be a freaking dog. For all I care, you just gotta have that one person, or that like you need to have somebody to vent to. Or you need to have like a bitchin' buddy.
it's us.
True.
You need somebody
found
that
mine.
you can bitch.
Kaylee.
Mhm. Other side. Yeah. And Alex.
You
Well,
are
both of you are
mine.
mine. Both of you are mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've just sat there and let you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, that just freaking happened yesterday.
Yeah. I got really pissed off.
I could feel it.
Good.
So carry on. So Kai's doing a bit of venting, saying she's basically been getting like nuisance calls. Then she wants a decent case. And then that leads into Alex doing a bit of bitching because like he's broke and he's gonna have to give massages to Taiwanese accountants in the lobby. And then Kai just freaking leaves because she recognizes someone. And Alex is like, hey, like,
Rude.
I mean, like, I've hit rock bottom. Then Ernesto leaves. Like, yeah, that was rock bottom.
Okay,
What was it?
quit messing with the freaking mic. It's creating feedback.
Oh, sorry. I have a freaking fidget ring. Just
I don't. That's why I grabbed it.
say pencil works. All right, what?
CK photo.
What? Did he post a
I'll
new
send-
one?
No, this is off
was-
of Facebook.
Oh, Jesus. Scared me.
I have his post notifications.
I
turned
sent
on.
it to you.
Oh my god. What did you freaking send me? Oh, damn.
Yep.
Ah, the leather jacket?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yep.
what?
Leather
you sent
vest.
it to the group chat?
Aviator shades?
Nope.
You didn't
Is
send it to the group chat?
Hold on.
The long hair and the ponytail? This
There.
Thank you.
That's the photo.
Uh,
Son of a. I
Look,
need
my
to turn
hair
fan
gets
on.
that curly.
I need to turn my fan on.
I'm gonna shut my phone off now.
Good idea.
After I save this photo to my phone. Babe, I might have more pictures of him than I have of you.
Oh, well, then Nope. I'm gonna shut myself up. Before I say something that I'm gonna regret. And we're gonna move on.
I'm sorry,
idea.
but I had to. When I saw that photo, I was like, I have to share that to the group chat.
Yeah, so there you continue on. So we get to meet Cesar Rabara, who is kind of like the popular kid
That nobody likes.
that
but
nobody
yet-
likes but pretends to like, so like
Well,
they don't get
the way
bullied.
that the way that I kind of thought of him as was more like the teacher's pet. That the teacher likes,
yeah,
but
that's
everybody
a good
else
way to
hates.
describe it. But everyone has to suck up to the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
because
they
if
don't
they
want
don't,
to.
that's gonna tell on them and then they're fucked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
That's
then
what vibe I
Rabara.
got from him.
But what's interesting is like Ocampo and Rabara, they have a bit of like shot banter. But you can tell by the way Ocampo is standing and his facial expressions, he's faking it. Like he is like you just say one thing. Kinda, but he's like, I'm only doing this, so like. And also Rabara makes fun of Ocampo's weight, which we talked about this in the last episode when we talked about the wedding job. Do not. Okay.
Come on.
Like, come on. Let's not do that. But I think that is supposed to establish though that like Ocampo does not like Rabara, which sets up the other. Which sets up a thing later. But what's funny is Kai and Rabara hug and she's smiling, she's happy, she's seeing like a friend. But what's funny is Alex is in the backseat of the cruiser, just looking at this like, huh?
Who makes
Like,
me smile? What the
Yeah,
frick?
Like
he's
Kai's
got a,
hugging people and smiling?
yeah, he's
Who the
got a
fuck is
mix.
this guy?
Exactly. He's got a mix of what the hell? And oh hell no! Look in his eyes. He's like, I want to punch somebody.
Just his face.
Oh, I'm gonna
man.
punch somebody already.
That was the face. That was the face.
Yes.
That was the same face. Wait, like he's just not computing.
It's
He's-
like the
it's not
meme of
computing.
like the Frozen like video chat Frozen with
It's like he's got
the
that
buffer.
loading circle. He's
Yeah.
got that loading circle in his brain. Like it's like, wait, Kai is mean and hates me. Why is she hugging and smiling and laughing with this dude?
It's like what? But I mean, I don't think she hates him. She just gets annoyed at him.
Well, from Alex's perspective.
Yeah.
And so
It's like, why is she mean to me, but is willing to hug other people? Pretty much.
And
again, this is also, I just realized this now, because I'm probably going to tweet Dean about this later, just so you know.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
This is another instance of the family dynamic. The
Oh, wait, you
family
mean
entertainment.
Alex being the annoying baby and
Yeah.
Kai being
Being the
equally
favorite.
as annoyed
Older sibling.
older sibling Ernesto.
And then Ernesto's just the middle child. Like,
It's just a
what the
middle
hell's wrong
child
with you
stuck
two?
between everyone's bullshit.
Exactly. And it happened again in the librarians and also in Leverage.
Yes.
I'm trying to find a way to entertain Jet while we do this.
Oh.
Because he's insane.
Yeah. Alright, continuing on with the episode. So Rabara and Kai share some banter, and it's also kind of revealed that like they've known each other a long time, basically. And also then Rabara is like, I think someone's watching you. Then Kai just stops, thinks for a second, and looks, and it's like there's only one person it can fucking be. Alex, I know it, like Alex. Like I know it's fucking you.
Who else would it be, damn it?
And then out comes fucking Alex, acted like he was trying to find a seashell, like he totally wasn't snooping, trying to get the gossip on the tea.
It's like, what's going on over there? It's like, oh, don't mind me.
And he's being a bit of a nosy Nelly.
Yeah.
He's being nosy. So yeah, the introductions
But I
occur.
mean, that's kind of his training
It is
as a DEA agent to know stuff and want to know stuff.
Yeah, because I think Alex is like, okay. Oh, you okay?
I'm good.
Oh no, you froze.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
you glitched and you glitched briefly.
Yeah, then Kai reveals that she calls Rabara to bitch about Alex's shenanigans. As I said, you need one person. Everyone needs one person in their life that they can bitch to. What?
Jet. Okay, so Jet's on timeout right now, so I have him on his leash attached to the wheelchair.
Why did he get on timeout this time?
Because I have a quilt that has like feathers and stuff in it.
Oh no!
There's no sleeping in my room tonight.
Seriously, you just got the whole thing
I
clean.
just cleaned too. So he's on timeout, so he doesn't eat all the stuff until I'm able to get my dad to come over to vacuum for me because I can't vacuum myself. Yay to CP, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's attached to my chair so he doesn't break my arm going all over the place, and I didn't lock my brakes, so he's pulling me.
Did you lock your brakes?
No.
Do it.
You're not gonna get. Well, it's less likely to pull you if you got your brakes on, babe.
That's if the brakes actually work.
That's that. Yeah, true. Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. So carrying on with the episode because we're already 45 minutes.
I love how later with Ernesto, he's like, now that's rock bottom.
Oh yeah, because they analyze the crime scene, and,
I love that.
and then Alex is. I don't think it's necessarily jealousy. I think it's just testosterone.
No, because
It might be testosterone. I don't think it's exactly jealousy.
no, Alex picked up on what the guy was missing right away. Like he knew he was lying.
Yeah, that's true. I was talking to Borla when I was like, "It was this guy making Kai laugh. Kai doesn't laugh." It's more
like something doesn't add up.
That was probably him just wanting to know what the fuck was wrong with the guy.
True.
Yeah,
and that's So Ernesto's. Yeah, we find out that the guy, because it's actually kind of important to later details that Ernesto is talking about. He's basically filling Alex in on Rabara's story, how he caught Kai's mother's killer 15 years ago, but didn't kind of convince. This is the trigger warning, by the way. This is where the trigger warning comes into play.
And then
the Rabara didn't get the conviction because the suspect shot himself before they could arrest him. And then the case got transferred to Manila, and Ocampo was skipped over on a promotion because of it. And Alex is so pissed because Ernesto's like, "Come, might learn something." Alex is like, "Oh, I'm gonna learn something."
That's got the same vibe as I'm gonna punch somebody.
That is the same vibe.
Exactly. It has that same energy.
So basically, we get this analysis of this crime scene by Rabara, and there's a lot more blood than I was kind of expecting.
What were you?
That's a lot of corn syrup.
It's a lot of corn syrup. Because there's like splatter on the back wall. It's like the gunshot wound on the table.
It's like,
but none running down the desk or on the carpet.
Exactly.
Yes, because after this whole
I actually
genius level
I had to
reading
pause it
by Rabara. Alex fucking comes in and interrupts it because of his heart monitor.
But yeah,
I love how Alex is like, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah, he's probably thinking in his head, well, that's wrong. Okay, that might actually be right. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Like,
exactly.
But he's making a list in his head of everything this guy's saying and is comparing it to his own calculations.
Exactly.
It's like, but that doesn't fucking add up.
But yeah, when they walked in, I had to pause it. I was like, wait a minute. I did a quick scan. I was like, add up.
Yeah. Even I was like,
the fact that we can see that. I mean, yeah, it's a TV show and we're kind of supposed to see that, but that scares me.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing.
Look, I watch a lot of media. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of,
and I've dealt with fake blood,
crime shows and stuff, so that's why I kind of recognize. I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
So I have the Twitter stream pulled up over here now.
Oh God,
I'm waiting. Yeah, but anyways, after this whole reading and Alex leaves, Ocampo sends Roberto to the case, but Rabara advocates for Kai to join as well. So this is like her first big case since Alex fucked up her first one.
I I just flipped to the back part of my notes on the first side, and I put Ribaro's the golden boy to a combo.
Yeah, he is a
Pretty
golden boy.
much.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
But-
I forgot that I wrote that.
Yeah, but they get outside, but right away you get the impression that Ribara isn't exactly.
He's holding back. I can tell.
He is, because he goes outside and he's telling Kai basically what she wants to hear. He probably heard through the grapevine about her last bus going wrong and knows all about like her nuisance cases that she's been getting. So he is telling her that it's a cop. I think like there's one thing I left out, and I think it's a cop that did this. So like, just keep this between us. Meet me at the station. Keep it secretive. But Kai buys right into that. And then Alex walks up to Kai and is like, your boy's wrong and he's way too nice. And Kai's like, here we go. Like, here's Alex back on his bullshit. Can't leave shit alone. And Alex is like, the only people that are that nice are car salesmen and serial killers.
Okay, but the fact that he's not wrong.
True. But what's funnier...
I have the quote.
But what's funnier is that... Sorry, I'm doing a couple of things at once here. After... or in The Librarians, there's an episode of The Librarians. It's the last episode of season. There was a series finale basically, where it's this like AU and it's this AU and basically it's what if the library never existed and he's a car salesman?
Oh yeah.
Like small town car salesman. You know the type I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that episode, yeah.
What was funny is
That
in the
had
group
me
chat,
dying.
I think I don't know who it was I messaged. I think it was actually Alex I messaged this because you hadn't gotten to the episode yet. So I messaged Alex and I was like, has Christian Kane played a serial killer? Because so I'm like
you did
going
message
through
me.
his IMDb because I knew he played the car salesman and Librarians.
Yep.
And I was like, did he play a serial killer? So I'm like going through his credits, but the closest thing I could come up with was Hyde. I mean, literally the opening scene is
Yep.
him and his other characters shooting up a diner. So after some very R-rated flirting, moving on. So basically, it's also interesting to analyze this next part of the conversation between Kai and Alex, where Kai's like, you're afraid that we're going to solve this case faster than you are. Which Alex did not mention.
Competitive.
Yeah, but what's interesting is it's Kai that initiates the competitiveness.
Yeah.
Like, Alex was approaching it from a logical standpoint.
I know.
He's like, no, all he said was like Ribara, like he's wrong. And like he's being like way too nice. Like something is off here about the way he is acting. and there's something wrong with how we analyze that scene.
Yeah,
But
because
Kai,
doesn't Alex go back to the scene?
he does,
Later?
Yeah, later on he does.
which is interesting to think how like it was Kai was the one who got competitive. And I think that's mainly because she has such trust in Ribara that his word is gospel.
To repeat what I told you, Kaylee, in our little chat, I don't like him.
I don't either.
I don't either. The second I saw him, I'm like,
Yeah.
Red flag. Something's
Big
wrong.
red flag,
Yeah.
red flag, red flag, red flag.
Yeah.
No, more like a red beacon.
So it's Kai. Yeah, but it's and then Alex like keeps trying to deny it. But Kai's like, no, like we're gonna solve it faster. Like go massage your lawyer. And I was like, it's accountant, and I might not have to do that. I'm like, I might have to, man. As Ernesto comes over, and Ernesto's like, I was wrong. That was rock bottom. And basically,
That was hilarious.
it was.
And the funny thing is that Ernesto kind of smirked when he said it.
Yeah. Like, I have seen you hit some lows, but not this low, buddy. But Alex is like, Ernesto, he's Barbie dolling her.
And Ernesto looked at him like, what?
Barbie dolling her. Basically, it's, as Alex explains it, it's when you turn someone around so they see everything backwards, and then you melt the hair and make the eyes real big, or you take something nice and turn it into something terrifying.
Yeah, I put...
Which is what Bar's doing.
Coraline.
Yeah,
Think
I,
Coraline.
Coraline.
Stupid scary
Yeah,
movie.
true.
True.
Okay. So I basically put he Barbie dolled her, and then I put my own like little interpretation of what that meant. He
Mhm.
turned it to turn someone's. This is off of IMDb, by the way.
Okay.
With my own understanding, it's to turn someone's head around so they can't see the facts for what they are,
Yeah.
and that's what
But-
he's doing to Kai,
Yeah, because he like
and that pissed me off.
because he presented this like murder case, like this big murder case that could be Kai's ticket, like Kai's big case that she's been asking for. But now he's turning it into something terrifying, like a cop did this. Like, what's the scariest thing to Kai that Kai could think of? Another cop being a killer.
Mhm.
Yeah, but she never banked on what it actually was.
No, she did not. Which we'll get into that at the end. And then Ernesta's just like, "What the fuck?" Alex
Exactly.
is like, "The girls on the block had dolls. I had a lighter." Which, what the fuck were you doing, Alex?
Right?
What the hell were you doing with a lighter, bud?
But honestly, me.
True. Although it was me with this is how bad, but permanent marker. I would X out my Barbie doll's eyes because they.
I never
scared
got
me.
into Barbie dolls.
Oh, that's
I
even,
had them,
what's even-
but I
yeah,
never
what's
really
even-
played with them.
Yeah, what's
I ended up
even
giving
worse?
them all away.
Yeah, what's even worse? My dog got a hold of one of my Ken doll and ate its arm. So I pretended he got into a shark attack.
I would pop the heads off mine.
Same, and then I would put him on the different
Jesus.
body. I was violent, okay?
I had a rough childhood.
And here I am reading freaking encyclopedias as bedtime stories.
Oh,
Nerd.
Hey, do I gotta get the pillow?
Go ahead. I don't care.
Oh God! Here
I'm
we go.
running.
Run! Run!
Know what it is? It's the age of the geek, baby.
It is though.
Age of the geek, baby. We run the world. Yeah. Wait, I'm
Okay.
climb. Shit.
Alex, where'd you go?
Oh no. What did I do?
After you got up to get the pillow, they ran away.
What did I do? Oh no. What did I just start? What did I just start?
Alex.
Oh,
Alex?
I'm
What
back.
are you doing?
I had to go grab another Band-Aid.
Oh.
But I was running away. I was running away from you. Show me the pillow.
I already threw it.
I missed it. Darn it.
Do you want me to get the pillow again?
Please.
Okay. I gotta get these off.
This is my life.
I'm just making her get up.
Why?
Because it's fun.
No, it's not.
She knew that I squealed.
Probably a good thing I didn't have my earbuds in then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cam. I'm sorry. Rude.
We need to carry on.
No,
We need
it's
to
not.
carry on.
Behave.
Make me.
Oh, you too.
Yeah, babe?
We're moving on.
Yes, dear.
So Ernesto's like, Alex, you blew up her last undercover sting, and like, don't blow it. And Alex is like, he's gonna blow it for her, man. And the compo's gonna have her chasing electrocuted pigs for 20 years. Which Ernesto specifies it was cows. Which actually is an important detail, surprisingly.
Oddly enough, yeah.
How the
There, honestly, that's why I have like so many notes, because there's so many little details that add into the overarching plot. So, yeah, but Alex still stays insistent that Rabara is wrong, and the proof's inside the building. So late at night, Alex is doing some casual B&Eing. What's funny is he's got a bandana over the lower part of the black bandana over the lower part of his face. And what's cool is when he goes in and he analyzes the scene, like he goes in and he's literally visualizing in black and white the scene. Because at first he starts off with what Rabara is saying. Like, killer came in, shot. But the thing is, the laptop's open.
Right.
This is,
So the blood wouldn't have made the pattern that it did on the wall.
yes.
The killer would have had to
Because
shoot him
Alex, the way
with
Alex
the black
visualizes,
post.
the way Alex visualizes it, there's blood on the laptop. And also it pulls onto the carpet. But Alex is like, wait a minute, back up.
There's none on the carpet.
Yeah. Which, is this supposed to hint that Alex is some flavor of neurodivergent?
Only a neurodivergent noticed that, though. So
Exactly.
Because I feel like,
the three
My
of
guess
us
is he's
are
probably-
neurodivergent, and that's the first fucking thing I noticed.
yeah.
Same.
Well, I was more thinking of it as like the visualizing.
Oh, I do that too. So yeah.
Because
Definitely,
because
I do
I
it
kind of
too.
do that too a bit. Like that's how I basically write. Is I visualize the scene in my head like I'm watching it on a camera.
Me too. That's why
Same.
writing sucks.
Babe,
Yes, dear?
your writing's awesome.
Says you, you're biased.
So
So your opinion doesn't matter in this topic of conversation.
But yeah, I even do it when I'm reading books and stuff. Like I will visualize in my head as I'm reading, and then like if I like hear something or something like that, I'll look up and then I'll go back. I'm like, what the heck? Wait a minute, and I have to backtrack.
What did I
Yeah.
just read?
Yeah. And so, and I just thought that's what that represented. I thought it was a cool detail. So Alex basically realized that the blood splatters off. There's no because there's no outline of the laptop and the blood splatter. There's no blood drip on the carpet, and there's no wastebasket. So those are the key details.
Yeah.
But then,
To be fair, I actually did notice when they first walked in. I was like, "Wait a minute! Isn't there supposed to be a trash can in the room?"
I don't know, you would expect that there would be a trash can right next to the desk.
Like because I was like, "Wait a minute!"
I
There's
mean,
a
I
desk.
don't have
Where's the
one,
trash can?
but typically you would have a trash can right by the desk.
Yes.
Yeah, or at least nearby.
Yes.
Like with
Well,
mine,
I
I have
do
my desk. I've got
have
my
one
desk right
behind me.
here, and then diagonally away, it's over here. And I'm
No,
like,
mine's,
wait a minute, where's the trash can?
mine's behind me.
But yeah,
But
that's what I noticed. I was like, wait a minute, there's something missing. And I had to
Yeah.
pause it to
Mhm.
analyze the room.
yeah, then Kai and Ernesto bust him. And Kai is immediately like, "You have no restraint, do you?" And Alex is like, "I do not."
He's
And
like,
Kai-
I'm just gonna own that shit. No, I don't.
like, "No, I don't have any restraint." And Kai's like, "Why can't you leave anything alone?" Alex is like, "It's not about me." And Kai's like, "It's always about you."
I mean, she's not
And
wrong.
yeah,
At least from her point of view, she's not.
yeah. And then Alex then gets that like pissy little brother tone. I'm like, he's got it wrong. And Kai's like, "Maybe you got it wrong." And I was like, "I don't have it wrong."
Literally me fighting with my sister.
That's me fighting with my brother.
Yeah, mine too. So I just wait. I forgot to look at the comments. Sorry. Okay, carry on. So, but Kai's just like, "Here we go," and Nestor's just looking at his watch like, "Here we go again."
Yep.
But then Alex like explains like the whole blood splatter, which Kai ignores.
Yeah, how could she ignore that?
And then calls Alex a child. But the only comeback Alex is able to come up with is, "You're the child."
And that's something a child would say.
Yeah, literally.
It's got something child.
And I literally said that out loud. I had to pause it. I was like, damn it, Alex, you man child. And then I just pictured him staring at me with a look of hatred.
If I could legally kill you, I would.
Exactly.
Good comeback. But Alex still insists that Robardo's got it wrong.
Because
And Ernesto actually does listen. He's like, "No one bats 1,000." I was like, "Thank you." For the first time in this day, he's feeling validated.
Exactly. And it's kind of cute. He gets like all excited. It's adorable.
Yeah.
Quit laughing at me, Cam.
So Alex tells us about the blood spatter. And it's kind of a repeat of that. This is supposed to be kind of like the third repeat we get of the splatter. It basically, as we kind of said before, had the laptop been open when the professor was shot, there would have been blood on the laptop and it would have shown in the outline of blood, but there was none.
right.
Or there wasn't the outline you would expect, which means the scene was staged. And Ernesto agrees to get the laptop for Alex, and Alex thinks if they could solve this for Vara, they can get Kai back on track. So it is this is the part where it's like becoming a race to solve this murder. Because Alex sees something fishy with it, but Kai's
She's totally blind to any.
she's blind because of Rabara.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, of course, like, if you have like your mentor and stuff like that, you focus on what they're telling you and what they've shown you and stuff, and they've come back into your life. You have that focus again, and it's that binocular focus that can't be broken unless someone rips that away from you.
I think it's also a bit of flashback effect.
True.
How so?
Because, well, I think this is actually the definition of flashback effect.
You know what?
Hold on, I need to. Let me just consult. 1 second, hang on. No, backlash. Sorry, I turned into Parker for a second in the paranormal activity job. Backlash effect. So basically,
What do you have? Because I couldn't find anything.
is basically you see something that goes against what you believe, so you believe harder in that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I have it looked up on the Merriam-Webster, and it says a strong adverse reaction as to a recent like social development, i.e., in this situation, her point of view is being forced to change, and she doesn't want it to. Of
Yeah,
how she
basically
views
Alex
Rabara.
is saying
He's not a good guy, but she's like, no, he is.
Well,
Basically.
at this point, not yet, but it's more your mentor is wrong. Here's the evidence as to why he's wrong. Because, like, no, he's my mentor. There's no way he's wrong. Because he wouldn't lie to me and he wouldn't steer me wrong.
Yeah, that's the same type of thing Parker said
in the paranormal activity job, which is what I was thinking of. Yeah. But I did the Parker thing when she was like backlash effect. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of a bit what's going on too, is the guy's believing harder now in Rabara because she's been proven otherwise. So then we get to Rabara and Kai are like a makeshift replica of the scene where Rabara tells Kai the blood spatter is off. And he goes to hand her a gun, which Ari hands her like a case with the gun in it because she's closer in height to the killer. And Kai's reluctant at first because she wants to follow protocol, but Rabara is like, just shoot the damn gun.
Yeah, he's like, it'll be fine.
Like, there's a killer on the loose. Or the way he says it is, Kai, there's a killer on the loose. Shoot the damn gun. Harness that girl I used to lock up in juvie every weekend when she was 14. And wordage is actually kind of important here because he's twisting her head a bit more.
Yeah.
By
basically forcing her to kind of regress in her mindset a little bit. Yeah. And there's some resistance there. I can see it in her eyes.
There
She's
is.
Like, I don't want to do this.
That's like she went to reach for the gun, but then backed off and was like, but this is authorized to you. I need to get it reauthorized.
Exactly.
But she has blind trust in Rabara. So she goes along with it, shoots the gun, gets
blood
actual
splatters, and
gets actual blood on her shoes.
it ends up
That's
being
also
real
important.
blood. It splatters
More
on her
consistent. Basically, yeah. And then Kai sees that Alex had a point, and Kai is like, we need to get a look at that computer. But Ernesto grabs it first. And
Ernesto.
yeah, it was interesting as he grabs it, puts it in a black book bag, catches Ernesto on his way out, and Ocampo kind of questions why he was in the evidence room, and Ernesto's like, I just make sure everything's longer. I hear that since Ibarra has the case, Manila's paying attention.
And the fact that he was
uses
quick.
Ocampo's, and he knew what buttons to push, which is Ocampo's jealousy to Ibarra.
Yep.
Yeah, which I always thought was really.
Sophie Devereaux would be proud.
Exactly.
And what's also clever is Ernesto hid the backpack in the office, so he wasn't actually holding it this whole time. It was in the evidence room. When Ocampo leaves, he quickly opens the door, grabs the backpack, and gets. And he's also planted that seed that he can use later.
Yep.
So Ernesto meets with Alex at the gift shop and gives Alex the word, and that Ocampo's putting barbed wire around everything. And Alex has an iron heating up. And Ernesto's like, you own an iron? I was like, yeah, I own an iron. And I was like, really? You usually look like a thrown out napkin.
I love that. He just he tilted his head just a little bit.
I don't own an iron, so I guess I can't say anything.
Ernesto is my favorite character.
I know, Ernesto. He's so savage. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just I swear, he had the whole tilt and everything of his shoulders, and he's like,
yeah.
Really?
And
he's like,
so
I didn't know that.
And Alex gets some gloves on and uses a knife to cut up a bag. And this is
the bottom of the evidence bag, actually.
Yeah, the bottom of the evidence bag. And he's displeased about that because he's like, how are you going to access it without making it look like Alex has cut the freaking bottom of the bag open? Like it's been tampered with.
And he's like, oh.
Make a fucking dumbass.
Okay. My thing that bothered me after they put the computer back in the bag, which I don't know if you want to talk about the evidence scene or not. So if you want to do that, you should do that first. And then we'll talk about that.
Okay. Basically, they open up the laptop and look up to see what was written. And it's about the old traditions, basically. But Alex is reading it off. He says something it's weird. And this is it's true. The Spanish thought the old ways were witchcraft, when it was really just about finding a balance between good and evil. And this is why I'm wearing my shirt. This is act like a lady, think like a boss.
But yeah, the thing is, when he did that, I immediately thought, wait a minute, he's profiling the writer of the paper.
Yeah, because And us is like, yeah, what really pissed him off was the village leaders were women. And they're just so funny because Alex like, that's just stupid. Like he was either like zoned out or tuned out. Or someone knew his headspace, he wasn't even thinking.
Yep.
But Ines is like, your
Little
doctor ever bring up toxic masculinity? No, hold on.
Here's the thing. I have to mention something about that. When he said it, I swear there was a freaking like twitch on the like the expression on Art's face where he's trying not to break.
What? Yeah, because he's like, no, I don't mean that. The history's stupid. That's gay women. Okay, what I mean is the way it's written. Which
open mouth insert foot.
We yeah, and it's a little bit of insert open mouth insert foot.
Yep.
Because you should always pay attention to what other people are saying, so shit like this doesn't happen. But yay, feminist Alex. So I just find that scene very funny.
That's because it is.
But it's funny. But also, for some reason now I'm thinking of the scene from Last Call, the Supernatural ad, when like they throw the guys out of the bar.
Yeah.
Because they broke rule number 7.
Don't touch the lemon.
Yeah.
We don't talk about rule number 7.
Oh, we talk about it all the time.
Oh, we talk about it. Yeah.
No, we shouldn't talk.
We talk about it a lot. Kay and I talk about it.
I think honestly, it's been brought up every freaking podcast episode we've been on.
Except for one.
Okay, let me rephrase. We shouldn't talk about rule number 7 because it's gonna get annoying if we keep talking about it.
Fair
Why
enough.
the hell not? Why the hell not? It's fun.
All right, moving on. So, yeah, it's something else, but there's no other files. Or Alex thinks it's something else, but there's no other files. So Alex tells Ernesto to stop thinking like a cop, and you need to start thinking like a cop or a killer, or stop thinking like a cop or a killer. Which you get a chuckle out of, but he needs to think like a professor or an ex-DEA agent that has to make his word count on his dream journal and copy paste.
Yeah.
Just like Dr. Falls for that. Think you're that fucking dumb?
Yeah.
Like Dr.
The look
Falls
that
for
he
that?
gives. Yeah. The look that he gives Alex is like, really?
Like Dr. Falls for that? No, it's like no one wants to read what's inside my head. It's like a Stephen King wrote a romance novel. Which, what the hell kind of thoughts you having, Alex?
Right?
I know, I'm
What the
dying.
hell kind of dreams are you having?
I love that. I want to know how many times did they have to do that little bit because CK broke character?
But, well, okay,
Probably
question. What would a romance novel written by Stephen King look like?
I want to know now. Stephen King.
I'm terrified.
Do we need to tweet this to Stephen King?
Yeah,
And
let's
ask
ask him
the
that.
man
Like,
himself?
what would a romance novel written by you look like? We
Okay,
want to know.
I don't read Stephen King.
I don't either.
Work. Like, it terrifies me.
I just know he's
I've read.
Yeah,
I read one book.
A romance novel, I would read it.
There was one book that I read, and it was Carrie, and that was it. Because I watched the movie a bunch, and I wanted to.
Romance novel. Okay, we need to like tweet this idea at him or something.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
get answers.
is that supposed to be a hint at like Alex's love life?
But but do we even want to get into that? Like, is
I don't want to psychoanalyze his head. That would terrify me.
I already might
No,
have
thank
a
you. I'm
bit
gonna click
because
skip
I wrote a
on
fic,
that.
but like it was, you know, Alex has a daughter, right, Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, somehow he managed. This dumbass managed to get himself a wife, a whole wife,
And have a daughter.
and have a kid. So like, what were his other relationships like, or whatever? That's it was like if Stephen King wrote a romance novel.
I need answers. Stephen
Or-
King, random romance
Or
stuff.
is this like? See, 'cause I've also like psychoanalyzed CK's music.
Oh,
So I was
God.
actually kind of thinking
Same.
about this earlier. So I was like, it's
Okay.
just,
At least I'm not the only one that analyzes his music. Good God.
because usually his music is about like different kind of night is about like never settle or never being the person to settle down and looking for someone else. And Let Me Go is about like trying to leave but end up like the girl pulls him back.
Like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
okay, but that's me if I'm in a
Pretzels. Sorry.
And like More Than I Deserve is it's kind of self-explanatory, but like is that supposed to feel like in reference to CK's lack of love, or like
Oh.
you said
Ow.
it last week? No, I don't fucking know. Now I'm moving on.
Bye-bye.
But basically what Alex is trying to get at is like if like when you copy paste whatever you copied stays in the clipboard until you replace it. So they just got to paste and find out what the professor was working on. And what is pasted is a single incomplete sentence saying like, an impression from evidence gathered in Cebu would reveal the true killer, which is what they got to find out.
Right.
So Alex asks Ernesto to subpoena the professor's phone records to find out who he like had talked to. There's like a compo white signed off on that, and then suggests Bara. And Alex goes through like 3 different emotions here when saying no. It's like no, like, oh, no.
Yeah, it was quick, and I'm like, is he
Like,
okay?
like no, don't ask for
Does he need a
Bara.
hug?
No, don't really ask for Bara. Like, no, don't ask for Bara. No. And they won't get the evidence, basically.
And then, so they close the computer, put it back in the bag.
Oh, because Alex
Alex-
uses the iron to seal
Yeah,
the bag,
Alex-
getting his MacGyver on.
So nobody notices that they messed with the evidence. But hear me out. What about the whole copy and paste thing that they did? If the next people who access that computer open it, they're gonna see that he pasted that in there,
You're right.
and they're gonna see when it was
True.
last.
I mean, unless when it like the shot was on. Unless
Yeah.
because like we didn't see like Alex's hands, he was like backspacing.
Yeah, but then at that
Or
point, you just hit the
did like the
button.
undo keystroke,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
It's basically just
Like just press 2 keys,
yeah.
shuts
And
the
then-
laptop, seals it back in the bag, good to go.
I need answers. That's gonna bug me now.
Because I didn't see
But
it.
yeah, it's like they
You
would
do have a
see
point.
it. Yeah, because it was like on Microsoft Word, and it will show when you last saved something or edit it, and it would show up.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's like
It
Google
would
Docs
show up.
shows.
Yeah.
Unless
It
he
would
didn't
show
save it.
the timestamp. Yeah.
When it closed out the application, you just didn't save it.
Yeah, well, with Google, it saves automatically.
It was Microsoft Word, which doesn't save automatically always.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, you're right. It doesn't save automatically with Microsoft, but yeah.
We might
It
be
would.
looking too much into this, but now I need
I don't
Possibly.
care.
Let's
I
move
don't
on.
care. It's fun.
And so
I'm gonna fall.
Alex hands the laptop over, and Ernesto's just done with Alex's shit. And Alex is like, okay, search all income calls to the island, anyone who contacted the professor. and Ocampo apparently has access from his office, so Nesta leaves. Alex is like, good luck, buddy. But the look they give, they're just so done with each other's shit.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's like, I hope I never see you again. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Or like, you so owe me.
Exactly.
So
I just
we go back to
I just realized something.
Hmm.
Ernesto and Alex
Or
are
Elliot.
no. They're Dean Devlin's version of the Hardy Boys, but if the Hardy Boys were played by Elliot and Hardison.
I was close.
You're right. So we go back to the bullpen, and Kai and Ribara track down Ocampo and reveal the laptop's gone, but then Ernesto gives it to them.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. And he tries to check in on Kai, and she even sees the bottom to see if it's been tampered with, and it looks like it hasn't been tampered with. So Alex is MacGyvering.
She doesn't look too closely at it.
She doesn't, but it was at least enough to buy that it wasn't tampered. And
yeah. Plus, this is a TV show. How closely do you want them to look?
True.
Exactly.
And the Campo gets territorial with Ernesto, like wants Kai and Ribara leave. Sorry, and Ernesto's like, I was stalling for you. Like, I didn't think you'd want them looking at a key piece of evidence without you.
He was really smooth about lying to his boss.
He was. But he like pushed those right buttons. Because he goes to his desk, counts down, and exactly on one, Ocampo leaves his office, asking him to see the laptop.
Yep. And that was funny.
And then Ernesto goes in. Which Ernesto is quite the grifter.
Honestly, I was
Sophie would be proud of him.
Sophie would be proud.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did like a crossover between for Leverage Redemption and Almost Paradise? At least those two. You can add in Librarians if you want to. But for sake of this, we're just going to do Leverage Redemption and Almost Paradise. Having Ernesto and Sophie have to go into grift. And Ernesto is surprisingly like picks up on everything Sophie's doing and like is able to pick it up, and Sophie's impressed.
Okay, but imagine Christian trying to do both characters for that crossover. That would be hell.
Well, I mean, he'd done it before. And Librarians. He fought himself.
Where he yes. I know exactly what episode you're talking about. That's my favorite.
Then Where Lies Beneath the Stones.
Yeah, where he goes back home to and deals with this jerk.
Look, if you want if you're a Leverage fan and you want Elliot, or you have like wishes to have Elliot confront his dad, watch that episode of The Librarians, because the way Christian acts that scene
is probably what it would be like if Elliot had a chance.
The supernatural brain rot that I have, because like the fighting, the look-alike, that's happened a few times on Supernatural. We particularly like them in that dream world where Dean he has the line like my dad was in sociopath. Is that?
Oh,
But there's
It was
that.
the
Yeah,
it
in the
was
dream.
yeah it was the
Yeah.
Dijon dream world. He could tell that
The
it was
dream
wasn't-
route,
Yeah, it was
and
from
also
the
like
Dijon.
the falling
Yeah.
down a hole
Yep.
when he like pulled his dad down, and like they both fell down. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that brought back some. I don't like that. But man, okay, carrying on. So back at the gift shop, Ernesto's getting a couple beers open as Alex is reading off the list of the places the professor called, which are all like your standard places you would call if you are planning to travel.
Yep.
Like hotel, rental car, airplane, stuff like that. And then Alex asks about Kane, how she's doing. Ernesto says she seems tense and hands Alex a beer. And Alex thinks it's because she knows something's up. Yep. But Alex suspects it's because she knows something's up, but Robaro's not going to find it. But nothing Robaro's going to find is going to lead them to Gloria Bautista. And Alex tells Ernesto to like search on his phone. Is my mother watching this?
Oh God.
Oh no.
Mother, please let me know if you're watching this so I can watch my mouth.
Yeah, me too. Please.
Please.
I just saw the thing saying that like she liked it.
Oh no. I'm terrified now.
You're terrified. You're not the one dating her.
Yes.
Oh no.
Shit.
Oh
Shit.
no.
Mother, ignore everything you are watching.
Ignore the crazy. I
Ignore
apologize
everything you
in advance.
Love you. Going to bed. Okay. Love you too, Mother. I'll talk to you in the morning.
Way to give us a heart attack.
What did my own mother give me a goddamn heart attack?
I mean, she gave you a heart attack. I need a minute.
I just thought she'd like to know was like, oh shit, what did she say? We're good. Okay, I think we're good. We're good.
I
think we're
couldn't
good.
breathe there for a second.
I still can't. I need a minute.
Oh my god. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we're good. Let's carry on. Sorry, carry on. And Alex started spelling it. Ernesto's like, I know how to spell Bautista. And I was like, can you spell orangutan? There's no G. Like, yes, there is a
And
G,
then
dumbass.
And then Ernesto, being the smartass that he is, was like, yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. But then he has like spell O-R-A-N. But Ernesto cuts him off before he can actually like finish spelling it. Sir. And Ernesto kind of gives Alex the rundown on Gloria. And Alex plans on taking Kai to the interview because not only is it better for a woman to interview another woman, but Ernesto catches on to the idea that it also takes Kai away from Rabara.
That, and if they do the interview, the truth will be staring her in the face.
Yeah, like there's this third source that's not someone she trusts or Alex. It's this third perspective that she can't argue is biased.
Yeah.
Like she can argue Alex is biased, and she can argue Rabara's biased, or she's biased towards Rabara naturally because of the mentorship they have.
Right.
So having that third party, she can't deny it.
Right.
True.
But Kai's doing some sparring practice.
That whole scene just.
Yeah, Alex comes in and tells Kai that they have a lead, or that to follow us on a lead. Kai's like, "There's no us, and you aren't even on this case or on the force." And I was like, "Well, I'm just trying to be thoughtful."
He seemed kind of hurt by
He
that
did.
comment. Of like, basically, she said, "You don't matter. You're not part of this team."
Yeah,
Cut
like,
out.
This
yeah, like
this interaction reminded me of the TV show Lucifer, where
okay,
it's a whole thing where Lucifer goes down to LA for a vacation from hell or whatever. But after witnessing
move LA, stop crimes.
but after witnessing a murder, he becomes a consultant for the LAPD.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of familiar.
Yeah. He doesn't work for them per se. He doesn't get paid.
That's what Alex is doing. Except
Yep.
Dean definitely confirmed he does get paid.
Well, then why is he always broke?
You'll see
Exactly.
you'll see why he's always broke. I know why he's always broke.
Oh. I just realized. Ow! I hurt myself
Alex. But yes.
because I forgot I had my fidget ring on.
Oh.
Yeah, mine on too.
That's gonna leave a mark.
You okay?
Yep.
Okay,
My
let's
head
carry
hurts now.
on. Yeah, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
On to my favorite bit. My favorite
Yeah,
part.
so Alex then gets on. There, Kai's like, you've never thought of another person in your life. And I was just like, and Alex gets on some gloves and cuts in. And it's like,
Okay,
like
but
I'm worried about you.
that line from her honestly hurt when you remember that he's got a daughter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Implying that he didn't give a crap about his kid.
I mean, do we not remember what he did with, what was that, the second episode?
The second episode.
Yeah, do we not remember that he beat the crap out of all those guys in the airport? For
The girls?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I don't think. Well, Kai doesn't know why.
Yeah.
She just thinks he got like pissed off and went.
Yep.
She doesn't know the reason
Yet.
Okay, so I have some more watching I have to do.
Yes, you do. Yeah. So there's some sparring, and Alex is able to block Kai's moves. Kai's like, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a big girl, and I would rather play with someone who respects me. Then Alex takes a cheap jab at Alex's face. Or no, Alex takes a cheap jab at Kai's face. Sorry.
Yeah, he does one of these. Pop right in the nose, and she leans back, and she's like, as soon as she tilts her head back and looks at him, I'm like,
he did catch her. At least the way she reacted, I think he did catch her.
Yeah, he got her in the nose, and her head went back like kind of hard. And as soon as she looked back, I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah, but what's funny is like he steps back, and it's like, hey, like we good, we cool, like because we have a solid lead. Like, well, that was your first fucking mistake.
I'd be like, no, we're not good. 1, 2, 3, you punched me in the face.
Yeah, because Kai kicks Alex's ass.
Yep.
It's done beautifully.
And it was I actually
And
like I didn't realize this watching it at first, after it first came out, but rewatching it, I'm like, wait a minute, that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moves that
yeah,
he's
the
doing that
moves.
they're doing. And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yup.
I geeked out. I totally geeked out.
I would
And
too.
that goes to show you that CK has even said that he's trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was like, wait a minute, I picked up on it.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but Kai kicks Alex's ass and says they have their own leads. But then, because she got Alex on the ground, he gets up and he knows, but all of them are wrong. And he gets Kai in the stomach.
Yeah.
And Kai's like, I don't need you to come in and be the hero. I can handle myself. I was
Clearly.
like, I'm not trying to handle you. And then proceeds to get knocked onto the mat because Kai's wrapping her legs around it. Is like wrapping her legs around his neck.
Yeah, she basically got him in a leg chokehold.
Leg chokehold, yes.
Okay, but
Yeah.
she was okay. But look at it this way: she was trying because she was pissed at him and wanted to take her anger out on him and whatever. He wasn't even trying. Like when you actually watch it,
That is true. He's not. He only like strikes that couple of times. That one time, really.
Yeah, just to like push her to actually like let some of that frustration out, because he can see it.
The rest
He's
just
"You're
doing
holding
like
back."
blocking.
Yeah, he's on the defensive.
Yeah, he's more doing blocking, dodging, stuff like that.
Yeah, more like kind of more Kali moves where it's
A
blocking
bit, yeah.
instead of the striking.
Or
Except for that
Kai's,
once, it
yeah.
was the strike, and then the rest of the time it's blocking. And I'm like,
Right. Well,
okay,
that had to hurt.
Let's face it. That one strike that he did, that was a cheap shot.
It was a cheap shot.
Well, she gets him back.
She does get him back.
Yeah,
Yeah, like.
Oh my god.
But anyways, her legs are wrapped around his neck, and Kai's like, "What are you doing?" And Alex like, "I don't know. I just have a feeling." Kai's like, "It's arrogance." And Alex like, "No, it's something else." Okay, this is pretty badass. You gotta admit, he with this woman wrapped around him, he gets up, lifts her up, and is like, you just holding her there, like, I know you. Because, like, you know me? Then whacks him in the head.
You don't know. It's like
gets him down.
Me? You don't know anything.
Gets him down again. Locks him on the ground. It's like, you have no idea who I am. When my mother died, Avara gave me something no one else could. Justice.
But here's the thing. After she did that, she actually, I watched it again. She kind of hit him with her elbow on the side of the head, and he dropped down. And she hits him in that hold.
That reminds me of Captain America, Civil War. I think it was when.
Describe the fight, and I could probably figure it out.
Zemo triggers the Winter Soldier, and then Winter Soldier has to fight through Sam, Steve, T'Challa.
Yeah, that is Civil War. I know what scene you're talking about. I know what scene you're talking about.
Natasha and him fight. Bucky's got her chokehold on the table, and she's like, "You could at least remember me."
Yeah.
She was wrapped around him going like this, trying to knock him out to get him out.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was also wrapped around.
Yeah, that's.
And Natasha's my favorite character, one of my favorite characters, Marvel characters.
Same.
So so is Elliot and Alex. So
yeah. Okay.
Probably says way too much about me. Moving on. So Alex taps out.
Yeah. Well, the way that she's got him pinned, she's got one of his arms outstretched and has him under the armpit, and he's like, "Come on,
yeah, he taps
out."
Go,
and he's like slapping her
that's the
leg
to
let him
out.
go.
Yeah, there's no way he would have made it out of that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's why
like
he tapped out.
he would have passed out if he had not tapped out, and she just
But-
like throws his arm.
Yeah, but they let go. They both get up because like Bar and is saying that like Bar let her see it was possible to get it and like get justice, give justice, and change her life. It gave her purpose. It made her stronger. Alex is like, argues like, I'm not saying you're not strong. Like I know you're strong. Just maybe you're blinded by emotion, but you can tell like as soon as like words are coming out of his
Yeah,
mouth,
as soon as he said it, he's like,
fuck,
"That's not what I wanted to say."
get hit, and I
He's
just
like,
said the
fuck.
wrong
Yep.
fucking thing.
Yep.
You could kind of see the internal like.
The
Okay,
fuck.
but the reason he gets hit,
I ran my mouth.
but he wasn't wrong. That's why she hit him.
Exactly,
True.
and that might have been part of it, but like he said, but he said the wrong thing to get Kai to listen to him.
Yeah. He could have
Is
said it
more-
a different way.
Yeah.
His approach was wrong.
Yeah, because
She punched him.
yeah, she
But-
does. But
Okay.
what's interesting is they get in this like lock pushing against each other, and Kai's like,
Yeah, they both
Like,
have
what
each
am I not
other
seeing?
gripped like this, and they're looking at each other dead in the face. I would have been laughing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
my
yeah.
ass would have-
It's
But
just,
interesting.
Okay,
it's just
but
uncomfortable.
how do you remember dialogue in the middle of a fight sequence? Like,
Well,
my ass would
True.
have character
both the
times.
way because
I think they did.
yeah, because both Christian and Samantha worked on this scene together. And I know
Yeah.
the way Christian choreographs is it's like a dance.
Right. He talks about
So
that.
it's broken up in segments.
Right. Which makes literally everything easier.
It does.
Yeah.
Because not only can he get more breaks or everybody can get more breaks in between while they reset the camera or whatever. They could do it in shorter sequences, so less likely to get hurt. Like they can do
Yeah.
a short sequence, adjust the camera angle, take 15 or 30,
And you
whatever.
don't remember everything at once. I mean, yeah, an actor that good's probably going to remember all their lines anyway, but like
Yeah.
between the breaks, you could be like, okay, we did that, now we're here, these are my lines, okay, let's go.
Kind of,
Yeah.
kind of like track the timeline of the scene in that way.
Yeah.
I have to share this little tidbit about my favorite. It's part of the fight scene.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, she couldn't get the fake punch follow through right, the
Oh.
timing. So
Dude, there's
he
a
was
video
like,
with this.
yeah,
I think there's a
and
video
he's
with this
like,
on
"Come on."
Christian's
He's like,
Insta.
"Come on, hit me, come on, hit me, for real." And
I
she
believe
rears back and punches him in the face.
there may have also been a 6-pack of beer involved.
Yep. He's like, I only brought a
Of
6-pack of
course
beer.
there was.
Yeah,
Of
he's
course
like, I only
there
brought
was.
a 6-pack of beer, so this is my punishment or something. And so he taps his cheek, like, come on. And she literally swings back, and you can see her body go like this.
Mhm.
And she punches him. He goes this way, and his hat goes flying.
But
I
yeah,
had to
so
watch that several times, and I was still giggling. It was hilarious.
yeah,
love
basically
that.
Alex says that Khan's not seeing other possibilities. And what's interesting is he uses the fact that he's like low to the ground, or both of them are lower, sorry, to grab Kai's leg, pull, switching her center of gravity, getting her down on the ground.
That was smart.
Yeah, and he wasn't even trying, because, like, he
Exactly.
Because he like pretends like he goes to punch her, but he's too far away for him to actually punch.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the video on Christian's Insta, and I just saw a picture of him with the fucking bloody nose. I think it was from Angel. But just sorry, carrying on. So then Alex is like, come with me. and it's just one lead. Then Kai gets him
Yeah, he regrets saying that.
in the gets him in the nads.
square.
N-
Gets him in the no
nads.
square below the belt.
Just instant regret. Should have kept his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, when in doubt, that's generally the spot that you go for.
True. A good
True.
self-defense lesson. Go for didn't break the nose. Water eyes water every time. Go for the nose. Go for the solar go for the
Okay.
solar plexus with like a
Hold
set
on.
of keys. Or
Hold on.
go for the nads.
Okay. Because you brought that up. Miss Congeniality. Yep. Solar plexus, which is
that video?
the gut. Instep, which is the foot. Nose. And below the belt.
Okay, but if you go for the
Thing.
solar, you gotta. If you go for the solar plexus, you gotta hit hard enough to make sure they stay down.
That's why I said with keys.
True.
No fun in doing it with keys. Sorry, I
Keys guarantee it works.
True, but you don't get the same satisfaction. Sorry, I have issues.
Sorry, I'm like having flashbacks to seeing these things for the first time. Going through Christian's Insta trying to find this damn video.
Don't worry, Christian. They're not stalking you. I promise.
I promise not. I'm just trying to find that one.
I'm trying to find the freaking video too.
What?
Freaking hilarious.
I haven't seen half of these. And now I'm just like, what the fuck? No, that's too far. Where is this? No, it's too far. Where's the fucking video? No, that's librarians. I need.
Be here a while.
Wait, hold on. That was the. No, that was the supernatural announcement. Where the fuck is that video? Oh, God damn it.
Like I said.
That's not it. That's not it.
Found it. It's a clip from the Almost Paradise thing, and it's got the punchy punch.
That's not it.
Let me know when you're done. I'm just scrolling through Facebook now.
I'm sorry. That's not it. Ah, damn it, I just said that. Why can't I fucking find it? This is driving me nuts. I don't know why it's driving me nuts. It just is.
You're driving me nuts.
I found it. I found it.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
You're
send
welcome.
it
This is what.
His hat flew.
Yeah, this is the caption. This is the caption. I'm gonna read off the caption.
Alex, send it to the group chat.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
There.
It's okay. This is the caption. This is what happens when you ask Sam Rochelle to come in for a fight rehearsal on Saturday on her only day off and only bring a 6-pack of San Miguel Light. Sam commenting, you asked for it.
And I think she even before he even told this, and
Wait, is there audio?
and it's there's no audio, but in
Damn it.
in the Facebook Live after
She is wearing a boxing
After
glove.
yeah, and he was like, yeah, she couldn't get the fake punch timing
Yeah, which-
right and anything like
Look,
that.
every
And I was
single actor.
Yeah, he was like, I
do
was
not.
like, just do it, just come on.
Every single actor. Sorry, I bumped my mic. every single actor that ends up saying that is usually followed by some story of how that went wrong.
Jensen
I'm
getting slapped.
looking at you, Jensen Ackles.
Oh, where he got slapped in Dark Angel.
On Dark Angel. It was a female actress for some reason.
She couldn't get
It
the
was
fake
his
slap.
co-star. She couldn't get the fake slap.
He's like, just hit me.
He's like,
Just
she's
hit me.
not gonna like slap me that hard. Just actually
don't
slap
pack a
me.
punch.
She got him good.
We full on whack.
Is it a Texas
And it's
thing?
like-
Is this
he's
a
like-
Texas thing? Because that's the only common, besides that they're both men. Is this a Texas
I think
thing?
it is. I think it's a Texas thing.
It is.
Because, but yeah,
I'm pretty
Jensen was
sure-
like, yeah. She's like,
Because they're
he was
both
like, yeah,
Texas
she
boys.
left
That's
a
the only
hand-
common denominator.
Yeah, and he was like, there was like a handprint and it started to swell. And I was like, yeah. And she was
Yeah.
like, whack.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh.
But he learned his lesson.
Yep.
Maybe. But anyway, so Kyle gets Alex to the Nats, which is never not funny.
It's always funny.
Which is never not funny.
I actually like legit when she did that, I legit flinched. She was like, oh, that hurt.
So
That made me
he goes
like,
down.
flinch.
Kai gets up and is like, "Don't tell me what to do." And poor Alex is just growing. It's like, okay.
The high pitch kind of like, poor boy.
And Kai's like, "It came to this island to get out of the police business. So get out." Which,
And I was
this
like,
is
rude.
yeah, because
Just the way that she
Kai's
said it.
actually wrong.
Yeah.
The reason Alex came to the island was to find. He says this multiple times. And this is more prevalent in the episode Lone Wolf. But through earlier episodes, you get the idea that the reason Alex has come to the Philippines is to find peace and serenity. But the irony, and this is actually kind of part of a discussion we had earlier in the CK group, fan club group chat, or the Discord, but what's ironic about Alex saying how he's trying to find peace and serenity is he can't find peace because he thrives in the chaos.
And Dean and
I've
both
also
mentioned
mentioned
that.
this.
Yeah. In the Facebook Live of the first episode, they mentioned that, yeah, he's been in that high octane life for so long.
And I've mentioned this before.
Yeah. And to be without it, it's like a drug addict quitting the drug cold turkey. He needs it
But
to be normal.
that addiction is always there.
Yeah.
It is. He's essentially become addicted to the adrenaline.
Yep.
To the adrenaline.
And his body
he's
doesn't know
become
how to
addicted
function
the-
without it.
Exactly.
His body can't function without it.
And again, you can Google if you want more like actual research on this, but like any like addiction or any sort of like trauma with or like, anything like that literally rewires the brain.
Yeah, there's a actual chemical alteration to your brain with like addiction and stuff like that, depending on what substance you use. Or in
And
this
that's
case,
not
it's a
like-
natural thing. For
Right, there's,
Alex,
like-
it's adrenaline. His body needed that adrenaline to be normal, but now with basically a broken body, his body needs that but can't get it
Exactly.
in the height that he had it before.
Yeah.
So his body's basically going through adrenaline withdrawal.
Yeah.
In a way.
And doing like these cases is how he sort of
regains his normal. a little bit.
Or it's kind of like how he gets his high.
Exactly.
Going along with that analogy. But another thing is Alex is right here because we see Kai's not listening to anybody but Rabara. She's not seeing other possibilities, and she's not thinking for herself. She's thinking for she's just not thinking. She's thinking she's just going along with it. Like she's not able to think for herself because Rabara is manipulated her so much.
Yeah, it's more of like it's basically, I hate to use this analogy, but that's the one thing that popped in my mind. I didn't write this down, but it's like a mentor-mentee version of Stockholm Syndrome in a way. She can't think on her own without looking for her mentor for guidance.
Yeah.
She's not strong enough in her own. She is, but she's clouded by that. It's like, it's basically a way worse version of shiny.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and I also had the note that we talked about earlier about the video. So, carrying on. So then Rabara comes in with a new pair of sneakers, and then Kai makes a snarky comment. Alex like, see, he's thoughtful. And Alex just groans and lays back down because he's still hurting.
Oh, poor boy.
Poor boy.
I feel bad for him.
But can you just imagine? Can you just imagine? Well, more like it's ass handed to him. But can you just imagine the conversation he had to have with Ernesto? When he walked out of that and like met with Ernesto.
What happened? She beat me. So I want to know how?
No. For both of us, no. Like I would have paid good money to see that.
Would have paid to hurt things.
No. You know, I don't know why this just popped in my head, but the movie The Gray Man. The Chris Evans line when he's walking and he's limping.
Why are you walking like that?
I got shot in the ass. That's what it would feel like. Is Ernesto's like they're going to the cruiser or whatever. Alex is limping because that's not exactly something you get over quickly. And so limpiness is like, why are you walking like that? Because I got hit in the balls, Ernesto.
Now I have that line from Chris Evans stuck in my head. Not the ass, Suzanne.
That's so funny. Okay, let's carry on. Let's get. Oh, Jesus. All right, let's carry on. So, Alex and Ernesto are walking through the village. Alex is putting a suit jacket. He's bitching to Ernesto and calls Rabara a tool, and he doesn't know how he ever solved a crime.
Probably.
And he's wearing wire rim glasses.
Oh my God.
As you can tell by my geek out just now.
I'm about to just crawl under my desk
and I literally like message Kayla is like, why are Wim glasses? Why are Wim glasses?
All right, continuing on. So they knock on the door, and Gloria answers. Alex, he puts on this horrible British accent. I say,
really bad at it.
It is really bad. It's like, oh,
Makes me want to go like this. Smack him on
Who,
the back of the head. Wake him up.
by the way, is the dead guy. I should point out.
That's
When
really
Ernesto,
morbid.
he introduces Ernesto as his research assistant, Fidelio.
Okay, but does Ernesto look like a researcher?
No, he does not.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
he looks like a cop.
It's like,
He does.
but it doesn't. Even, but
It's
I
just
think
his stance
the
that
issue
gave it
with
away.
the issue with the British accent, which was the same issue I had with the fucking Spanish accent, is Christian Kane can't control his freaking drawl.
I
Yeah.
know it came out, and I was like, that was kind of cute.
Like the Spanish accent, I could literally hear.
A
Like
little bit of tech, a little bit of.
I could hear when the
what's going
Texas came
through.
out.
Just a little bit.
Just
And
a
even
wee
this
bit.
one, like, yeah, he sounded like British, but he just sounded like he was a southerner with the freaking head cold.
True. He can't
'Cause
do
he's all, like,
accents worth a
nasally.
shit. He can't do
Like-
he can't do accents worth a shit.
But see, he does accents okay. He does accents good in Leverage. Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
Did he
No.
really do that good?
he never really did an accent.
Yeah.
The only thing I can pop in my head is when he had that like German accent for the snow job.
Yeah. And that was just a little bit of an alteration of how his vocal pitch was. That's all that was.
Yeah.
But with this,
Or he
it's-
did have a bit of a German accent for that particular scene. But usually if like Elliot or Christian's doing another voice, he just takes the draw out of, or he takes the graveliness out of his voice.
Yeah, how much does that stick around?
not long.
Exactly. Not that any of his fans are complaining, but
True.
True.
But if you're gonna do like, and also he worked with freaking Gina,
Oh,
Gina Bowman.
brother.
who is British.
Don't
Oh,
get
no.
me
No, she's Kiwi, but Sophie is British.
don't get me started on her. Oh man.
All right, moving on. So Ernesto like corrects the pronunciation. Then Gloria calls out the bad accent, and Alex is like, which is why he said it sounds like he has a head cold, is because that's the excuse he uses. Like, had to have a bit of a cold. And then they go in. Ernesto points out the Kalangay statues, which are also in the professor's, beside the professor. But Alex, this is where the trigger warning comes into play again. For a good minute. So, if you need to keep that in mind. So, Alex pushes a bit hard about Gloria's husband and basically questions whether his death was actually a suicide. And she shoves them out.
It's like it's rubbing salt in that fresh
Yeah.
wound.
Yeah, which Alex should have known better.
Yeah. That was a jerk move on his part.
Yeah. All right,
He
carrying
could've
on.
been-
So,
Yeah, he could have went about it way more subtle. But he decided to be a bull in the china shop and go right to it.
yeah. Yeah, so okay, continuing on. They're walking back to the cruiser. Ernesto points out the identical Kalangay statues. And Alex points out like the suicide happened the same year Kai's mother died. and her killer committed suicide, and the identical Kalangay statues means they're from the same village. Okay, trigger warning's over. You good, babe?
Yeah, I'm just trying not to fall asleep over here. It's 10:15 my time.
It's 11. I'm trying to keep this going.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying much because I would.
Yeah, trying to keep it going. All right. So Ernesto asked kind of like what the professor wanted, and Alex doesn't know, but the cases are connected. They needed the original case files. So Ernesto spots Kai and Roberto working the case in like the conference room. And basically Kai has it almost figured out. But Rabara, basically Kai figures out the motive as it was a small town cop who moved to the big city with an expert in crime scene processing. And the professor stumbled upon the perp's first murder. So she's almost connected all the dots.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
She's like this close.
Yeah, but Rabara spots Ernesto, who quickly leaves, and Rabara's like, I'll tell you on the way. As he tells her that they have the lead. Now that just became very important. And Ernesto nearly gets caught by a compo in the evidence room because he's trying to find the original case files. But Ocampo pulls up and like is looking through the files, but then leaves. So Ernesto goes to see which file was taken, and then he leaves as well. And we see him showing Alex at the gift shop this file, which was Duada Mendoza's murder, also Kai's mother. And the professor checked out the case file a week ago. So Alex is also connecting the dots here. And he's like, this is what the professor stumbled on. Like he was looking to her murder and found something. Then asks if Rabara and Kai know. And this is like not specifically, but Kai thinks the assailant killed the professor to cover up a past crime. And
Yeah, you
basically
can see
the murder is
connecting the
past
dots in
crime.
their heads.
Yeah.
I could see it on their faces. They're trying to connect the dots. So like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
They had
also
the look of like, oh, wait.
yeah.
What?
Yeah. So, and also Alex realizes that the impression that the professor was talking about was a literal impression in Duwada's scalp. And so they're trying to narrow it down from what. So Alex is visualizing again, which I still love that effect. I hope they use that more in season 2.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I do like that effect. But
Cool.
basically, Alex eliminates Gloria and her husband. But then Ernesto recognizes the symbol, and writes it on some unopened receipt paper.
Do you actually sell anything here? This an unopened pack?
Just draw it.
Damn paper.
And with a little MacGyver, Ernesto and Alex make a light box and trace the symbol. Which light box, all it is you have a light underneath the box, and you can trace stuff. That's what it is. So Rabara is driving Kai. They're making some small talk about their past. And Kai resents her mother for never being around, going from house to house, all of it crazy. But she now realizes she just really loved her people and to keep them safe, whatever that looked like, and she couldn't help herself. Which is parallel to Alex, because that's why he keeps getting into shit he shouldn't. He isn't supposed to be.
Right. He cares too much, even if he does come off as a pain in the ass.
Yes. And he quite literally can't make it go. Or like, you can't let it be. Babe.
I'm awake. Sorry. No, I'm here. I'm here. We're
All
almost
right,
done.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, sure you were.
I'm trying.
No, I can still hear. I wasn't fully
So
asleep, but just
okay,
keep my eyes open.
okay. Back. So Ernesto draws a symbol, and they realize it's Kai's ring, which Alex has an impression on his arm of from when they sparred.
Yeah.
And they also realize that someone's making it look like Kai killed her own mother. And Kai doesn't pick up the phone when Ernesto calls her.
Because when Alex was doing the walkthrough, the visualizing, the whatever, he eliminated
Gloria and her husband.
Yeah. And didn't he later eliminate Kai, even though it wasn't like through the visualization bit? He was like,
Well, I think they automatically knew it wasn't Kai.
right.
Yeah. Because they know her, and B,
There's no way she would be able to
there's
do that.
details that prove that she's not capable of doing this.
Yeah. Because what Kai was 15.
Yep.
I don't think a 15-year-old's going to be strong enough
Exactly. Be able to do something like that.
But what's interesting is the camera is like, it goes from Kai, who declines the phone call. Then the camera pans over to Rabara, but then the music changes.
I noticed that. I was like, wait.
And you can see the way he's kind of like looking like, okay, I'm still safe. But that music.
Yeah, he had that cocky look in his eye, like,
yes,
we'll never find out. And I'm like, well,
yes.
you thought.
But that music cue is saying, like, you need to pay attention because what's about to happen, because this is important. Which, again,
And
genius.
Fred Curry. That was
Fred
awesome.
Curry and the entirety of the sound design team. So they try to find Kai in the police station, but she's already gone with Rabara. Alex gets Ernesto to go into the conference room where they see all this evidence. They find that it points to Kai, but then Alex realizes it also points to Rabara.
Yeah, I thought that them figuring that out was kind of cool.
Yeah, because there's a photo of like a bunch of cops, including a Campo and Rabara, but Rabara has the ring on that Kai wears. And they realize that it was Rabara's ring, and Kai's mother took it off him when he killed her.
Yeah, because he had her in a
chokehold.
Yeah, I can't do it on myself, but the whole one arm here.
Yeah, but she was able to take his ring off.
Yeah, it was basically that's I noticed this. This is another Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu move. It was a triangle choke. He had her like this, and she was able to reach up with her free hand and grab and pull.
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, but she pulled his ring off, which is what was in her hand when she died.
And everyone just assumed it was hers.
Yeah.
Because all of her jewelry had been taken. Yeah, all of her jewelry had been taken, and she didn't have anything on her but that ring.
Yeah.
So it was just assumed it was hers. And I like that we get the visual thing once again, because Alex is visioning Rabara, you know, Kai's mother, and all the evidence fits.
Yeah. Where'd Alex go? Are they coming back?
I don't know. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Hang on.
Maybe Alex just left so they could go to bed.
No. I am trying to get through this.
I know.
I told you there's a lot of like little.
Yeah, but it doesn't help that we spent the first
10
45
minutes.
talking about random shit.
It's true. But there's also just a lot of little, as I said, like there's a lot of little details.
I have no idea what the heck happened.
It's all good.
The Wi-Fi between you and this site was just like, nope, you're done.
Pretty much.
All right, so kind of continuing on. So basically, Rabara killed Kai's mother. And Rabara is about to kill Kai.
Didn't like him for a reason.
Yeah. And Alex knows where. So Kai and Rabara arrive at the cemetery. She's suspicious, but still follows Rabara. Alex and Ernesto are in the cruiser, driving, lights and siren are on. And Ernesto is putting it together, where he's like, Rabara killed Kai's mother, then framed Gloria Bautista's husband. Trigger warning again. Her husband's death looked like a suicide. Confirms again, but it's just like, so why did he? It's like, why did he kill Kai's mother to begin with? And Alex is like, maybe she figured out he was framing people, which is how he bats 1,000. You make up the crime, someone else takes the blame.
Yeah.
And
the thing is like that same. At this point, it's as they dig deeper into this case, there's more questions and answers. They're trying to piece it
but
together,
this
but
is
there's
where
still
all the
a big
answers
chunk.
are.
Yeah, there's a big chunk missing, but they can see where the answer is, but they don't know how to get to it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Ernesto also realized that this is why he's been looking at old case files, because he's always known something stinks, which goes all the way back to when Rabara and Ocampo first interacted, how he was standoffish and faking.
Right. Because he knew something.
He's always known Rabara's been.
And the thing is, Rabara couldn't look Ocampo directly in the eyes. He looked kind of above his head.
That's true.
I saw that, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's
He's holding back.
That is. Yes. And also that is why we see Ocampo going through files, and why he's so territorial when Rabara is around. And also why Ernesto was able to push the buttons he did.
Yep.
And
so,
Alex, sorry.
So they get into a physical fight at the cemetery while Alex and Ernesto are on their way there.
Yeah, because basically Alex realizes that in order for Rabara to basically clean all this up, he needs to create, like, he killed the professor to keep like everything from Babe.
I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to bed when we're done with this.
I know you are. Me too.
Damn.
As a Roberta's professor to keep like him framing people getting out. But that creates another loose end, so he has to create a fall guy for 3 murders.
Right.
And that person's Kai.
Yeah. Who then he'll turn around and, trigger warning, he'll set up her suicide at her mother's grave.
Mm-hmm.
To make it seem like grief overtook her or some crap like that. And I'm like, that is on one side. This is weird. This is how my mind works. The cop side of me is like, well, that's kind of smart because it seems like, oh, this is the perfect way to set it up. But the writer side of me is like, that doesn't seem right. That's mean and really underhanded.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but if like that's you kind of have to think like the bad guy here for a second and be like,
Kaylee, quit messing with the damn mic. I can hear it loud in my ear.
Sorry. And this is the part where Kai and Rabara get into a fight. But what's interesting is what triggers it, or at least what triggers Kai to know something's off, is Kai's immediately suspicious and is like this is a joke. Like, where did that lead come from? Like, did Alex send you? I bet it's a cop. It was doing it again. And then Rabara says, come on, do you see a cow anywhere? And Kai immediately stops. And you could see her processing, like, I didn't tell him about that. And then that's when Rabara pulls.
That's when she knew. She's like, wait.
Yeah.
How did he know that? About a conversation that he was nowhere near. He wasn't even within earshot. But
there's no way he even like listened to me tell Ernesto and Alex about this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they get into a fight. But what's interesting is during this fight, you can see the switch flip on Rabara because he looks so much more psychotic.
Yeah, he went from being like this nice gentleman guy to crazy.
Yeah, but he was hiding all of that beneath the gentleman.
Yeah.
And now
that's what it means, just seeing that switch flip.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it was like taking the mask off. He's like,
oh, and also,
you're not going to play my game anymore.
Yeah, it's also
time for
that's
me to do something.
True.
That's what true. It was. That's what I saw it as. It was like, oh, so you're not gonna play along with my little tricks and fall for my little shiny thing anymore. Time to get my hands dirty. It's what it was, and I immediately wanted to throat punch him.
Right?
Yeah, but before like they actually start fighting, though, Rabara's like, I knew you figured it out, but like you just took longer than I thought you would. And your problem is that you want too badly to believe in things, and you're like your mother that way. And Kai's like, you know what your problem is? You stand too close. Because he's got the gun pointed right at her, and she's able to disarm him.
Like, it's like this
some
far
nice
away.
moves too.
Yeah,
which
she literally grabbed it and basically twisted away from him. I was like, oh, that's impressive.
But this is a leverage reference.
And it also reminds me of the Supernatural.
How did I catch that?
When we first meet Joe and Ellen, Joe's got the shotgun.
When she's got the shotgun at Dean's back.
Right up against him. So like it's right here, and he's like, there's something you got to know. You don't want to put the shotgun right up against somebody.
Because then they could do this, and he disarms her.
Yeah.
But then she punches him in the face. So
he deserved it.
But I think this is actually supposed to be a reference to in Leverage. Awesome. This is supposed to be a reference to in Leverage. And the Miracle Job. Remember when he's in when Elliot and Hardison are in the tunnel with the gang members,
Oh,
Elliot.
yeah.
Elliot's got the goon's got the gun in his like pants waist, and Elliot just holds the freaking gun, and it's
It's just
you
like,
know
he-
the barrel is pointed in the no square,
Yep,
and
and
then the
he's
other
giving
goon has
him.
another gun.
Yeah, he's giving the goon that he's got literally at gunpoint the eyes, and he's staring right at his soul. And I was
And
like,
then he's
I would be
staring at
on
the
the
second
floor.
guy. He's staring at the second guy who has a gun on him as well.
Yeah, he does one of these. He looks
And
at him,
Elliot's like,
and then
Arston, you seeing this? I was like, yes, the situation
yeah,
has my attention.
I'm
Yes.
seeing that.
yeah, he's like, yeah,
Yes,
I'm
like,
seeing
see,
this.
this is why I don't like guns. They have a specific range of efficacy. The main problem, they get too close.
And then
Fucking headbutts.
it's like, oh,
But that's what it is. I love that though. Dean Nolan knew what he was doing.
you know what that brought up? The anatomy of a fight scene with the teddy bear.
Oh yeah, when
It's like I'm too close. It's lights out.
I got to, yes.
And he's like this far away from the camera, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't fight back.
Yeah.
I'd be on the floor laughing.
Wait, what? What is my brain not computing?
There's in the on the DVDs, and there's also the video on YouTube. Part of the special features on the DVD was anatomy of a fight scene. Yeah, which basically just it's Christian breaking down like the big fight scene.
Nice.
Yep. Freaking
I can't wait to get the first David job. All right, carrying on. Sorry, carrying on. So they fight, though Rabara is able to get control of a gun, I should say, and gets it on Kai. So they go basically, and Alex and Ernesto pull up, and trigger warning again. Alex explains that like Rabara's gonna make Kai's death look like a suicide, and it's like, why would Kai kill herself? Or at least like why, like what would, like what's the story here that they're setting up?
Yeah,
Right.
what's the motivation? It's like,
Yes, like how is Rabara gonna make people believe this? And Alex tells the story of that's like guilt over her mother. She kills the professor to keep him from exposing her. And an old friend comes into town, causing all these feelings of remorse. Everybody's seeing her act strange. So she ends it all in the one place she can't escape. Okay. Under the trigger warning. Except she's not alone. And they see the car and start running.
yeah. And Tam,
And-
I just sent you the video link to the video that we were talking about, so you can watch it, so you know.
You can watch it in the morning.
I will.
And basically, Rabara has Kai kneeling at her mother's grave. And Kai, once again, is able to disarm Rabara. She has the gun pointed at him. She's shaking.
Yeah, she's like standing over him.
And she's got her boot on his chest.
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And Kai's like, why her? You are my friend. You are my family. And her voice is so shaky.
Yeah. And I
Her
noticed.
world's shattering.
Yeah. I noticed a subtle thing where she got the gun. When she says you were my friend, she tightens her grip hand a little bit more around the gun to kind of steady herself, and she's giving him a death stare.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wants to murder him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is when Alex and Ernesto come in. And as Kai's asking Rabara, like,
Perfect
why did you
timing.
do this to me? And Alex like, because he killed your mother. and he's gonna frame you for it too. Because like no one would believe I would do that. And but Ribaro argued otherwise. Like it was like everyone knew you hated her, and kind of she yells like, I didn't hate her. And this the Sam Richelle man in this scene. And also Ernesto has his gun on Ribaro, and you can see he's kind of like inching himself closer to Kai.
Yeah.
Because he obviously isn't gonna
That
shoot.
yeah, that protective mode was.
He's not gonna shoot Kai, obviously.
Yeah.
But if he can,
He
like,
might tackle her.
he might tackle her, but he's not gonna shoot her.
Yeah, because like that's my partner.
He'd rather just take the gun off of her. Do it that way.
Yeah.
But Ribaro's continuing on. Ribaro's like, maybe you didn't now, but I was there and you made her life miserable. But this is where the psychotic look really comes out. Like, I'm talking big eyes, wide, just flared nose, stiff, everything. And he's like, if I hadn't killed her, you would have. It was only a matter of time. And you can tell after that, Kai's out for blood.
That was a low blow.
Kai's out for blood, yeah.
That was a really low blow, yeah.
It was a really low blow. And Alex tells Kai not to do it. And she also has her finger on the trigger. And she's still shaky. And Alex is like, put the gun down. And Kai's like, when I was 15, he promised me justice, and now he can deliver. And Alex says that she's like, this isn't her, she's not a murderer. Kai's like, maybe it is. I don't know anymore. And she's looking at Alex and she's like, you have no idea do you have any idea what it's like to be stabbed in the back by the one person you trust? Which we know Alex does, because that's literally the opening scene of the show.
And this is where it got really emotional for me. Alex's.
I mean, it came full circle pretty much. She's like,
it did.
Basically, she was implying it's like, you don't know what it feels like to be stabbed in the back, and he's like, excuse me?
He's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
And he's like, I've been in your spot. Like, betrayal eats you alive, but you can recover. But if you pull that trigger, there's no coming back. You can trust me on that. You'll become someone else.
That, when I first heard that, it reminded me of...
I know what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
No.
It reminded me of Elliot's speech in Leverage to Nate after Jimmy's death.
Yeah, in the last damn job when... Yeah, because Alex... Yeah. Or Elliot in that scene tells Nate, like, you know a lot of things, Nate.
You don't know how this is going to change
you. And basically the moral of that speech is to, like, you pull that trigger, 2 people die. The guy you kill and the guy you used to be. And Elliot also is like, I forget the exact order of what he says, but that's the main point, the main connection point.
And then he was like, yeah. And then he basically brings up, is like, yeah, I miss seeing the kid that I used to know. When I look at him, I don't see that anymore. Yeah. I'm looking for him, but I don't see him.
But going back to
Nate's like, you handled it all right. It's like, you don't know
who I was. Like, that guy, that kid. Yeah. We'll go more into that speech when we actually get to that episode. That was just interesting parallel in terms of usage, but when Kai is like, who is that? That looks like me. And like I've made bad choices, bad decisions. I let people down that cared about him and depended on me. But that wasn't you. And like you know that. I know that. Ernesto, like you know that. Ernesto knows that. I know that. And your mother knew that. But what's interesting about that is you can imagine that what Kai is feeling is sort of and going through is almost a speed run of what Alex spent 9 years working through.
Exactly.
Or 9 months, sorry. 9 months working on. Because you can imagine that Alex had the exact same mindset after he was betrayed.
Right.
And you can imagine this is what he would be like. And the fact that now he's sort of gone past this stage. Well, because by the time we like see Alex after that, he's sort of on the like he's on to the acceptance of at least like what happened, I think.
Right.
Yeah, he's starting to come to
But he
terms
had
with what happened, but hasn't quite healed from it yet.
and also he still like hasn't processed everything entirely.
Exactly.
I don't think either. But Kai has she's sort of speed running through everything.
Right.
And
So
that fits her personality to a T. That's who she is. She
yeah.
has to keep running, otherwise, if she stops, everything's gonna fall apart.
Yeah. So continuing on, Alex begs kind of put the gun down, and they lock him up, throw away the key. And there's some calm guitar music as Kai stands down. Augusto goes over, gets a bar on his back, and puts the cuffs on him as Kai's reading him his rights. And Avara says to Kai, "You're weak." Because Rabara's on his knees.
I wanted to kick him in the face so
I
hard.
did too. I did
Well,
too.
Kai fucking pistol whipped him, and then like she smacked him or slapped him across the face with the gun, put her boot on his face, and yells, "I said silent." And I was just like, "Go, Kai!"
That was kind of impressive. I was like,
Yeah.
damn. I was like, in my in my head when I was watching that part, I was like, oh, so that's what happens when you push Kai's buttons one too many times.
Noted. Don't piss her off. Got it.
Exactly.
Alex
Alex
needs
should
to
be
keep
taking
that in
notes.
mind.
Right?
Exactly. But does he? No.
Nope. Because he's a fucking dumbass.
Are we just waiting for the day that Kai shoots Alex? Whether
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in season 2.
Yeah.
Or tases him.
At that point, you might as well just bring up pork.
Okay. Carry on. So
Goodness.
basically, they take Rabar into the station. Capo's all too glad to book Rabara. But Kai's feeling less than satisfied. And it's like, why does this feel like a victory? And Alex is like, maybe victory somewhere else. So Kai gets to meet with Gloria and Gloria is able to get that closure with her about her husband, and Kai also gets that closure about her mother
Right.
Exactly.
too. But what's cool though about this scene is it was Gloria's like, I suppose we're both victims. I was like, no, not anymore. Like we were, but not anymore. I think it's sweet that people, like they have this mentality of you survive, like we survived this,
And now we can move on and fully heal from it, which I
and
thought was
like
cool.
we're not, like we don't have to be victims. We can be survivors,
Exactly. That was really cool.
and I do love that message
Yeah, I do too.
of no matter what you go through, you're only like you're a victim when it first happens, but afterwards you're a survivor. Like once you get through it, you're a survivor. And I think that's a beautiful message. And the music conveys that beautiful message. So I love that. And it was kind of a nice way to wrap up a sort of heavy episode.
Yeah, and that final little bit, it further cements the like, you can either choose to be a victim mentality, or you can choose to move on and be a hero of your own
Or a
story.
survivor.
Yeah, it's like you
Yeah.
can choose to heal from that and choose to make it mold you into somebody better, or you can choose to be a victim for the rest of your life. It depends which road are you gonna
Yeah.
take. And
Yeah.
that's what she was saying to Kai. It's like, now you have a choice. You
Like
keep going on the same path.
now we can be survivors.
Yeah, it's like you can continue going. Basically, what she said subtly, I picked up on this. It's like you could either continue the path that you were on, or choose to go down here with me and be a survivor. What are you gonna pick?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, is what she was implying,
Mhm.
and I picked up on that pretty quick. I'm like, I think I know what she's gonna pick.
Mm-hmm. Because we get another flashback to young Kai at her mother's grave after everyone's left. And she says, like, that she's going to make her mom proud. And then we go back to present, and Kai's standing at her mother's grave with Alex and Ernesto off to the side. Kai lays some flowers down and tells Alex he should have seen the island before the developments. Alex says he did. It's a special place. And this is where you kind of do need this after such a heavy episode. Because Alex is like, yeah, like I did. It's a special place. Still is under the mega resorts, med clubs, and memes.
When I tell you, I
Yeah,
facepalmed
facepalm.
so damn hard.
Because like a meme's the
I
thing
was
out of place.
like,
I was like, man, no wonder no one will drive me there. Like, how many fucking times did you ask to be taken to meme and not realize that the reason nobody's taking you to fucking meme is because it's not a place. It's a thing.
Yeah, I want to know. I really, really, really want to know.
Then Alex asks for a ride.
the signature catchphrase.
Yep, I need a ride. Oh, you'll like the final one.
I know what one you're talking about and exactly what scene, and I love that scene.
I love how he's like, "Can I get a ride?" And they're like, "Really?"
We're gonna call you a cab. And Alex is like, what? Like, he is so offended. Like, I just talked to you to Edge. Like, you owe me rides for a month.
Oh, that brings up in the Facebook Live. CK was like, I made the joke of like, we need to get him a bike or something. And I see Dean look down and then back up at the screen. He's like, someone just said that we need to get him a bike or something. And then CK's like, how about a moped? I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yes.
Yep. And I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, hell no. And then I was like,
Yeah, 'cause,
or a
like-
motorcycle. And then I literally wrote, or a motorcycle. And I see Dean look down and look back up and smirk. I'm like, oh, hell.
Because he does ride a motorcycle.
I know. But for a little bit, I was like, but that would be.
I don't know how he got said motorcycle, but he got a motorcycle.
I know, but I was like, but the fact that I brought that up and he read it out loud, and I audibly remember this. I made CK crack up out loud by saying that.
Oh my god!
And I'm like,
They know we exist. All right.
I know.
All right, we're continuing on. So so Kai asks, like, why doesn't he buy a car? Like, why don't you just buy a car? Now it's like, I'm broke and rubbing attorneys, remember? It's like, you own a gift shop. Now it's like, well then fucking buy something. And that's the end of the episode. So, I have some final notes.
Of course you do. Because why wouldn't you?
All right, first off, love the sound design. Every episode gets better and better.
It does. As somebody who just watched it the first time to join this podcast, because I apparently have nothing better to do on a Friday night, it was really good.
And yeah. Yes, and Samantha Richelle acted her ass off
I know.
this episode.
And the fact that she got to punch freaking Christian in the face.
That was fun. I also like that we got to see a bit of a softer side to Alex.
Kind of like
More,
it was a cross between a really good friend and like a brother figure, kind of, in this episode.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. But yeah, my favorite part is when Kai got to punch Alex in the face.
yeah, no.
I love that a little bit too much.
Also, the variety of this season.
Sorry,
with its
Christian.
episodes. Just the variety of like episodes we get. Because like this one was more Kai heavy. Last one was like nonstop action. Because like once it picked up, I'm becoming like never stopped.
Right.
Yeah. This one, it was kind of like a roller coaster. It kept going up and down,
Yeah.
then it was level for a little bit, and then it went
And then
up, and then back
then
down.
once the twist happened, it went off.
Yeah.
And I also love the camera shots.
Yeah, that was really good.
So do I. It was
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, what I find interesting, I think I might have mentioned this before, but like they're very easily could have, because there's still like no real, at least to me, there's no real romantic or sexual tension between Kai and Alex.
Which, honestly,
yeah.
shows
Yeah, and it is refreshing.
Yeah, it's
getting
more of
really
like
boring to watch a show or read
Yeah.
something with that.
It gets kind of old pretty quick. But with
Does.
this, it's more of that family entertainment
Yes.
that I picked up on. I was like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, and I really enjoy it.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
will forever be happy that I tweeted Dean that, and he
I
responded
know.
with that, and I'm like, you proved my point. I thought of this, and I said like,
Oh, that was like what someone pointed out recently,
Yeah,
that he cast the
yeah.
same 5 actors and everything. And Dean replied, "If it ain't broke."
don't fix it.
I mean,
Which
Exactly.
I mean,
if there is any romantic or any type of tension between characters, I feel like the focus shouldn't be on that. Like it should be on their like friendship level relationship.
Yeah,
Sure,
building the
they-
relationship. Yeah, and
Because
then have like the romance as a side note, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
enjoy that more
Yeah.
than the smushy bleh of like romance all the time, and it's disgusting. And that's coming from me. But yeah, like I really enjoyed that this episode was more focused on just one
Kai.
particular team member
Mhm.
of that triangle of friendship
Yeah.
instead of just Alex. Now it's
Mhm.
Kai and what they can do to help her move
Mhm.
on and
Yeah, because
heal from the past, which I thought was really cool.
yeah, because any other show would have made like that sparring scene. Like any other show would have had that sparring scene as like foreplay into
Exactly.
like a love confession or whatever.
Yeah, but this it was more of like pushing her to admit her deeper
Yeah.
feelings about what's going on.
Yeah, because the reason why Alex was sparring with Kai, because he was she was pushing back, or she was pushing away from him, or pulling away from him. Sorry, which he recognized was like not her. Like he knew something was up with her, and he cared about her well-being. And that's what came across with that sparring in the talk was he is like, I care about you. You're not acting like yourself. And like, I want you to come with me so you can get a clear head. Basically, is what it summarized.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope they keep that in season 2, like just the friendship between Alex and Kai and Ernesto.
Oh, definitely. They better.
Because I also like how Ernesto, how it doesn't get into a weird, like I feel like another show would have done with like the whole mentor mentee. It's more like master and protege,
Yeah.
sort of in a way. Like Ernesto is like teaching Kai the ropes because he wants to see her reach her full potential. And which is why he's also willing to help Alex in this episode. Because I think he too saw something was off with Kai. And also he trusts Alex's judgment. So if Alex suspects something's off, Ernesto is going to believe it until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. I just found that interesting.
I did too.
I like
So-
how their friendship kind of blossoms a little bit more and more each episode, especially for right now. It's like Ernesto believes Alex's gut instinct of like, hey, something's off with our friend. We need to figure this out. And he's like, yeah, I can see that. Something's not right.
Yeah, so
And I really love that. And that's kind of like that protective instinct. They kind of team up. They're like, we need to protect her. She's our girl. We need to protect her because something's
But,
going
like,
on with
we
her. We
know-
don't know what it is.
because Kai is unable to do it for herself because she's not seeing what
The
we're
danger
seeing.
that's clearly in front of her face.
Yeah, because she is unable to see what we're seeing about this situation. We have to
We
step
need to
in
step
to
in,
make
yeah.
her see.
They're basically turning into her bodyguards in this
A bit,
episode.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So, continuing on. I loved the respect and the writing and talking about the old ways. And I love the respect for women. Because again, that could have very easily been like
Twisted.
Alex and Ernesto, the males coming in to save the female, over emotional female. But as we said, it's more Alex and Ernesto are trying to
They're coming in to try to support her
letting
and do
Kai
right
figure
for
it
her.
out herself so she can
Yeah.
save herself.
Yeah, they're trying to redirect her a little bit, but by being like guiding her, but letting her figure it out on her own. Like, hey, something's off.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
there to kind of guide her a little bit, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. And a refreshing take, too.
Exactly.
Also, this is the first episode that Ernesto doesn't take his glasses off.
Darn it!
He does not take the glasses off.
I'm sad.
Which, did you catch that bit, babe, with the glasses?
Yeah.
I love that
immediately,
bit.
yeah, it kind of popped up. I was like, wait a minute, there's something missing. Oh no!
He didn't take his glasses off.
Yeah, I'm sad.
But honestly, I think that goes into the whole, like, they know Kai can handle herself.
Exactly.
So Ernesto doesn't need to take the glasses off to protect Kai.
Because when they come off, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah. In a way, they're trying to protect Ribara from Kai. Because they know Kai will kill Ribara.
If given the
if
chance.
she's not coaxed down.
Exactly.
So yeah.
It's
and
like,
I love
in a way, it's like, in my mind, I immediately thought for someone who's like, okay, so who's actually holding Kai's leash at this point?
it's just dragging behind her.
Exactly.
I'm too tired.
I'm almost done.
Yeah.
I promise. Yeah. Alex and Ernesto love the friendship.
Yes.
And I've kind of already
the amount of sassiness
at that point.
The two of them just
yes, the sassiness is amazing.
I loved it.
Yeah, so it's also interesting about this episode. We see Kai reach her breaking point and how Alex is the one who pulled her back from that breaking point, just like she did with him when he reached his breaking point, all the way back in episode 1.
Yeah. Where he basically like gave up hope and she saw that he was going
went on a bender.
Fast. So with her, he saw that in her. He's like, nope, come here, get back here.
Yeah, it's also a different tactics.
Yeah,
because both of them are stubborn.
Yeah, well, with him, he kind of approached it like a father would with his child a little bit. He was approached it carefully with her because he cares about her as a friend. But with her, she does the same, but it's a little bit more rough in a manner of like, hey,
yeah, like Kai,
get your head out of your butt and let's move.
Yeah, with Kai to Alex in the first episode, it was like, get your head out of your ass, suck it up. We're going to finish this together. You're tough. And, like, you have to work through this. But with Alex to Kai in this episode, he's a bit more gentle about it. At least trying to be more gentle about it.
He was like, it's like, hey, you try to do this on your own for a little bit. It's not working. You need us to figure
and
this
also
out.
He knows what Ribara is doing to Kai.
Yep, because he's either done it to somebody or he's seen it done to someone. He knows.
Probably a bit of both.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just thought that was a cool full circle point. But also, one last point in the Facebook Live, they did talk about having a crossover with Leverage and Librarians
That
or
would be
something like that.
cool. Yep,
That would be really cool.
So
that would be
there's
freaking
still hope.
incredible.
There's
Fingers
still
crossed.
hope.
But yeah, that was really
So,
fun.
You see, so that's the end of my notes.
And mine.
Okay, so
I didn't write notes. I just watched the episode.
all right, so having seen up to this episode, what do you think so far about the series as a whole?
It's good. I really like it.
I can't wait for season 2. I'm so
I
excited.
know, I'm so excited for season 2.
Okay, what do we want more? Season 2 of Almost Paradise or the next season of Leverage Redemption?
Both.
I want both.
I want both.
I mean, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
both.
already getting season 2 of both, so.
Now we just need a campaign to get into season 3 of Leverage Redemption.
We need to steal season 3
We do need to steal a season 3.
for both.
Or somehow get a campaign to get into season 2 before it's wrapped. Of Almost Paradise before it wraps filming. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to do that tweet.
Oh, you still haven't done that tweet yet?
I have not. I
Woman.
forgot about it. I forgot about it.
Seriously, you had Alex freaking out about it all damn day, and you still.
Yeah. That hurt.
Wait, the idea for
Yeah.
okay. You know what? I'll tweet it.
Sad now.
I'll tweet it once we're done. I'll tweet it once we're done.
Okay.
Tweet it once we're done. I don't care that it's midnight.
You made me sad.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So, did you have any final thoughts on this episode, babe?
No. Just. This episode really just hit hard.
I mean, it kind of does. Which
But
is
I-
why I'm glad that
Yeah,
the ending is what it is.
It was
I
a
mean-
literal gut punch at some
It
points,
was.
but,
Which
I mean, it the next episode makes up for it.
it does. Which
Yeah,
actually-
I'm not ready for that next episode because, oh my god.
Yeah. So, speaking of next episode, so the next time you'll see us, we are going to be talking Leverage season 1 episode. I forget.
We just did
I
the
forget what number it is. Yes, I am DVing in the middle of my podcast. Oh shit.
8. It's episode
So-
8. Yeah. I just went to
season 5.
I went to
Nope.
podcast.
There we go.
I went to the podcast.
Season
So, yeah.
8. Or
Episode 8.
episode 8.
Season 1,
yes.
episode 8.
Season 1, episode 8, the Mile High Job.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mile High Job, which will be fun.
And
But
very entertaining.
The next Almost Paradise episode is called Uncle Danny. It's season 1, episode 7, Uncle Danny.
Uncle
Which
episode 7. Lucky number 7.
don't. But I will say
I'm
this.
sorry,
I will say this, babe. The actor who plays Uncle Danny is Richard Kind, who played the mayor in The Maltese Falcon leverage episodes. Maltese
Oh,
Falcon job did a 3 strikes job.
I have a interesting love-hate relationship with that man and his characters.
Exactly. I was the same way. It's like, I don't like
Yeah.
you, but I like the actor who plays the character.
I think. Well, I mean, isn't that kind of the point of Uncle Danny?
True.
Sure.
And it's and they
I mean,
basically golf.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna mention a certain outfit.
Oh no.
Okay, why don't we save all this for after?
Yep.
Yes. So
That one's gonna be a fun episode. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
That
So
way
that's when you'll see us next time. I'd like to once again thank our parent company, napco.org, our electrical consultants, West PA Systems. And if you want to support me as a creator and support the podcast, you can go to my coffee page, Films and Fandoms, and buy a coffee. You can also go to my website at kayleesantelacting.com. You can follow me on Twitter at MissMovieFan_67. You can follow me on TikTok at MovieFan_67. You can follow Alex on Instagram at AlexCooper7241. You can follow Alex on Twitter at AlexThe_AlleyCat. And on TikTok under Alex the Alley Cat. And you can follow Cameron on both on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at Cameron_Jansen_. I did have fun.
I did too.
It was
Despite the fact that
crazy as always. It was crazy as always.
I wasn't falling asleep because I was bored. I'm falling asleep because I'm running on like 2 hours of sleep. So
Yeah, a rough week.
very.
All right, so you can also and you can follow the Facebook page. You can subscribe on Spotify and follow the podcast, and leave a rating on iTunes. And you can also suggest ideas. You can go on any of my socials or anything like that. And I'm trying to think. What if I'm missing anything?
I don't
think you are.
I don't think I'm missing anything. All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.